We are
We're live.
live. I gotta find the link. What's going on, everybody?
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
The Shine Talking Shots Q&A, baby. What you got there bagged up, man?
Oh, what did you like to know?
That
You
some
want
of
to
that
see?
devil's lettuce?
No, just USB charger adapters.
And it takes a minute for it to. There we are. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to copy the links to all the groups. I'm gonna have to do it a little slower this time, I guess. Last time I think I did it too fast, and Facebook thought I was spamming groups, I guess. So we'll have to go slower. Damn, I hear myself. Hey, tap.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there's one.
Echo, echo, echo.
Yeah. Make sure we get our groups in here the first. Let's see.
Well, that's why I can't find it. You guys had it yet.
Oh yeah, I'm just now send. You want me to send it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, damn it. Let me send it to the groups first. Then I'll send it to you. That way I'll know who I've sent it to and who I haven't. And that way, if they keep me from sending it to any groups, I can tell you which ones I didn't get a chance to send it to. They think I'm spamming the groups, They think it's a bot spamming, automatically.
You guys
They
like a
don't want
bot once sometimes.
they don't want that. Yeah. Well, I mean, I understand their situation. They got a lot of, bots that are sending shit out to thousands of group at once. But I mean, I'm sending out to about 10 groups. So let's see. I'll send it out to that one last. Gotta get it, buddies at Rock Gut. And half the groups I'm sending it to, I'm admin in, so I don't know how an admin is spamming the groups. Let's see. A few more to go. Send it over to Mark's page.
Morgan.
Yeah. Just trying to do it slowly. Tracy's page.
Here, I laughed at everybody else for being sick. Did I get?
Huh?
Here, I was laughing at y'all for being sick. You see what I get?
I don't even remember seeing. All right, let's see. Check Copper Steel Outlaw page to make sure I sent
Yeah,
that.
it's on. I'm watching. I swear I got my comments rolling. But you know what? I got a tan started already, so I don't mind this cold.
Oh, yeah, I did send it there. Let's see. Is it on there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, let's see. Let me send it some of these other ones that I normally don't send it to.
Well, hell, you probably got all the ones I got.
Oh, I doubt it. You're in every one of them,
No,
ain't you?
no, not everyone.
Everyone I look at you, I see your fucking picture in it.
Huh?
Everyone I've opened up and looked at, I see your picture in it.
Yeah, so we're probably all in the same groups.
Yeah. I haven't really spent time in some of these recipe places. I just joined a few of them last week. Yeah, let's see. What page
If
was this? This is,
if the group's got a like an Indian's name in it, I don't even join it. You get a lot of spam or garbage from it.
yeah. Well, I got to this far. Let's see if it'll allow me to put it. Yep, there's definitely a number limit. So I guess it's around 10 shares or so.
All right, anybody any questions? Any answers for questions or
Have you been looking at the comments?
nah, yeah, yeah. I don't get YouTubes unless I go to the same one,
Are
same
you
page.
looking at StreamYard?
No, I'm looking at Copper Silco or Copper Outlaws.
Um, you're delayed then. You need to look at StreamYard, and that way you won't be delayed.
Fuck, look at stream.
Can you see the comments on StreamYard?
Let me see. Let me find it here.
What's going on, Kimbo? Untitled, our first question, and welcome everybody. Have you played around with adding backset post fermentation to prevent pH problems? Well, if you've already fermented and you're ready to run, then I don't think pH would be much of an issue. I do know that when you do like sour mash and you're adding backset to it, you need to, of course, make sure your backset has been run all the way down. That way, it doesn't have a high alcohol content because that'll kill your yeast off and make your mash get stuck or your fermentation get stuck. And it also makes it pretty acidic. But yeah, absolutely, you can use it to lower your pH. Like if while you're mashing, if you don't want to use citric acid, you can use Baxit to lower your pH. It's as good as anything, and it's got flavors in there, and it's safe. It's something that you fermented, and so it's safe to use. So you can use it to adjust pH down. For your mash, you want to start out with, before you throw in, enzymes and everything. You really want to be around 5.3. You know, um, your water, it actually, when you start cooking your corn, you want your water to be, slightly acidic because it actually helps with the conversions, and the enzymes work better at the lower pH. So, um, it's good to use for all kinds, for lowering pH. It's as good as using citric acid and things like that. So, and it's a must, for like your um, sour mashes, or I guess if you're doing rum dunders, so absolutely. But yeah, post fermentation, after it's fermented, I don't see a whole lot of need in adjusting pH right before you run it. If I don't think that's what you meant to say though. But
Might have been talking about pre-fermentation
right, yeah.
or before it starts working. I've always stuck with oyster shells to adjust my pH or baking soda.
Well, that would bring it up. This is the back set with acidic to bring it down. So instead of
Right,
using
right.
citric acid, and I guess you could probably use it to clean with, help, instead of in replace of vinegars and stuff like that. I guess you could use it as something slightly acidic to help clean your copper with. I know you don't want to leave it in your copper overnight or let it sit too long, or it'll start turning it green. What's going on, Simon? What's going on, brother? How's it going? Hey,
Doing pretty
Scooby.
good. Scooby, how's it going, buddy?
Doing good, brother. What's up, Phil? How's it going, brother? Hey, Chris.
Chris, how's it going?
What's going on, Mr. Brian?
Brian, how's it going, buddy?
What's going on there in Bama Town, Tide Country? What's going on, Wendell? Yeah, I
Oh,
guess
Wendell, yeah, I tried to see.
Alabama just kicked UK's ass last week.
Knew that was
Basketball
gonna happen.
this week. Yeah. I
UK
think we're
girls are
doing
doing
about as
pretty
well
good.
as we could expect with the players that we got.
Yeah. UK girls are doing pretty good
Yeah,
so
the
far.
girls doing great. Yeah, the guys, we got a lot of injuries, and we got a few Kentucky boys out there playing. That's good. You know, got Garrison and Chandler that we're depending on. That's tough. They're like 1 and 2 star players, so it's kind of tough. But to be in the league we're in and doing as well as we are, we can't argue.
Everybody need to
I
get
hope
comfy
that
a little
answered
bit.
your question, Untitled One. You never did tell me who it was, Untitled. I keep asking. Oh, hell, I didn't scroll down. Oh, shit. Oh, I got a lot more. What's going on, Kenny Parker?
Jenny, how's it
Hey,
going, buddy?
Crystal. Yeah, I didn't scroll down, man. I thought I was done. Hell no. All right, we got another question. What would be a good alternative place to shine? And how would you do it in the woods? It's tough in the woods, I tell
Alternative
you. It's
place to
it's
shine.
it's a lot of work, unless you can drive right up to, where you're shining. It's a lot of work packing stuff. I've played that
I'm
game
a,
before, fucking packing all the corn and
I
all
never
the
did it as a kid.
sugar and packing the
I remember,
propane if you want to do that instead of doing fire.
remember doing it as a youngin', but I will do it, one leg again. Every time I go trail riding, I find all these good spots.
Sorry, y'all. I've been sick for 2 weeks, and last 5 days I've had migraines. This is the first day I felt pretty normal. So I've been dealing with that. I'm a grumpy fucker when I get on these pain meds, man. They make me mean. So I've been laying in the bed and trying to recover and getting fucking influenza. And now the migraines on top of that, I feel like shit for last week. But a good alternative place to shine, a lot of places, a lot of people worried about, shining, of course, in their house on their oven tops. And, Phil can tell you, Marfugal Phil can tell you, it's dangerous. You'd have a fire extinguisher if you're going to do it inside the house or anywhere near, anything that that's flammable and that you want to keep. Like, if you're out in a storage building, you got to worry about enclosed areas too. We were talking about that earlier. I think Bill Cluck posted it in the list page about not having to proof down to run shine. I don't think I would follow that rule. I think I think it's dangerous, and I don't think I would listen to that
I
kind of
I proof all
stupidity.
mine, to rerun
You
it. I proof
should. I
them
mean,
now.
it's you know it's not going to explode spontaneously combust. I think you have to get to
No,
600-700 degrees with alcohol to do that. So it's not just going to spontaneous combust, but you can. You know, he said that you don't need pressure or that it requires pressure to make alcohol explosive, and that's 100% not true.
takes a
The
leak.
explosion is what causes the pressure. So I don't know if a lot of people saw that post, that link, but I didn't want to sit and argue with him because that's all he does. He baits people with that same fucking shit once every month or so and tries to just get people in there to engage and argue. And I'm tired of dealing with him and arguing with him. You want to proof it down to less than 80 proof anytime you rerun it for safety's sake. And, but yeah, you can,
Anything below 80.
I can take a water bottle and put some alcohol in it, shake it up, open the lid, light it, and it'll go poof, and and it explodes. Basically, it's a controlled explosion, but yeah, there's no pressure involved, and it'll explode. So yeah, don't listen to that. What's up, Mikey? But yeah, I guess storage buildings. Some people do shipping containers, but I've also, like a year or two ago, I saw some people that had used a shipping container. I guess they enclosed it and they had a leak and vapors built up. And, once the what's required for an explosion is for the vapors in the air and the air itself to have just the right mixture. So you've seen people put out a fire with gasoline. That's because there wasn't the right air to, fuel mixture to get it to explode. But once you get the right air to fuel combination, it will explode. And people in, enclosed areas like that, it damn sure can explode and will. So, definitely need to be in a well vented area. Outside, it's if you got stainless, I'd recommend getting some flat paint and painting it, so it doesn't shine, and you can see it a mile away if it doesn't, when the light hits it, it'll have a little glint.
I got my still stuff in my pump house, which is it is a cinder block building and I've got a window in there. And then whenever I get my still running, I put a fan in there sucking everything out. And my still's right next to the window, so I don't have I know I ain't got no worries there.
What's going on, Fergie? What's up, Mr. Aubrey? What's going on, brother? I ain't seen you
What's
in a
up,
while.
James? How's it going?
You give me a call sometime, Mr. Aubrey. I ain't talked to you in a minute. Yeah, water supply is the most important thing, and 100%. That's probably one of the most important thing in finding a good still site because water, all that shit to pack in is good, but damn man, packing water, you don't want to be doing that. That's heavy as fuck. So if you got like a truck and a tote, you could I guess tote your water around, but that's pretty tough to do. But yeah, finding a water supply, A, to mix and make your mashes and boil and do all that, and B, to condense with is probably one of the most important things. That's why, when most people go out and prospect for a good site, that's pretty much the starting point. And then you find the water, then you find a good spot along the water, where you can get a good flow and you don't have to pump up the water a long ways because pumps, tend to not want to pump up very well. But what's going on, Hydro
How's it,
Man?
man? How's it
What's
going,
up, brother?
Randy? Glad to have you here, Randy.
Yeah,
I think
good
I
to
gotta
see
give you
you
a
having
call,
man,
Randy.
brother.
Randy,
Yeah,
I'll be giving you a call here tomorrow or something,
yeah, give
probably
me a
tomorrow
shout. Give
afternoon.
me a message too, brother. We need to talk. What's going on, Frank? Oh, here we go. All right, my thought is to run first gen Uncle Jesse Sour Mash, then add the back set to flavor it before distilling. Um, to make the sour mash, are you using the back set to lower your pH and to get things started as well? Because that back set is really one of the things that makes it sour. Is a lot of people uh, might not realize it, but low acidity things that are really high acidity, like the citric acid and things like that, are often used to make things sour. Like a lot of uh, candy makers and pastry chefs and all that, they use
They
citric
make
acid a
a
lot.
sour,
Yeah,
they make
they'll use
a
citric
sour
acid.
with a sour liquor,
Right,
flavored liquor with
right.
citric acid.
Yeah. So the citric acid will help make it sour, and in this case, you're using Baxit to help sour it. So, um, adding some backset, but again, you want to make sure the backset that you're using for all this has no very low alcohol content. So you really want to run all the way down in your tails when you're creating, and you what should anyway, to get all alcohol out for your next run to be most efficient. But for your UJSSMs, yeah, use your back set. And yeah, you can use it to flavor before distilling as well. Absolutely. I mean, you can. Yeah, there's a lot of flavors in that back set. They're concentrated flavors basically because you've taken a wine if it's a brandy. So you've taken a wine and you've taken all the alcohol and water out of it. What have you left? You've left a lot of concentrated flavors behind. So, you know, sure. I don't
Yes,
see why
Brian.
not.
Hey,
It'd be
Brian.
something good to experiment with for sure.
Brian, you are correct. Baking soda does bring the pH down.
Yep.
Um, lemon
Yep. Lemon juice for
juice
sure.
does. Citric acid, of course.
Yeah, there's not a lot of acidic things that that you can use that are food grade and stuff. So that back set or lemon juice, and like I said, the lemon juice definitely that's something that a lot of people have on hand. Citric acid, you should always just keep some citric acid. It's good for cleaning your copper. It's good for adjusting your pH. It's good for a lot of things. So it's something that you want to have around. Mr. Aubrey.
Kentucky brothers, I'm coming to Maggie Valley and finally get to meet you.
Awesome.
That's
I
awesome.
can't wait,
Yeah,
man.
we look forward to it.
Yeah,
You have
we
to
need
bring
to.
some of that. You have to bring some of that liquor you've been running down there.
Yeah, yeah,
I see you put a
definitely.
bunch of different ones out there. Oh,
What's
there
going
you
on,
go.
Jeff?
How's it going, Jeff? Ouch. Talk. Oh, dog, I swear.
On his fourth gin, don't have crushed oyster shells or a block of marble handy. The oyster shells will help stabilize. They help the pH from getting way too low. And a lot of times when you're using your back set, um, it's easy to overdo and get the pH down, but you also want to get that flavor in there. So one way that you can use a lot of backset and get that flavor in there is if you offset it with some oyster shells, like Roger was talking about earlier. Those crushed oyster shells are calcium
They're really,
carbonate,
man, they're really
and
cheap.
yeah, they're cheap as fuck. You can
You
get
get
them at your
you
feed
get a
supply
50
stores.
pound bag, the 50
Yeah,
pound bag for like $9.
yeah, yeah. They're cheap. Most people
Tractor
use them for like
Supply.
chickens.
Yep.
They feed them to chickens and shit. I guess add it to their food to keep, I guess, their calcium up so their shells stay hard.
Something like
So
that.
yeah. So,
I don't.
but I clean them
Hey,
up, boil them, I guess.
April's here. How you doing, April? Justin, brother, how you doing, man? Have you thought about that venison summer sausage flavor yet?
Oh yeah, Roger. How did yours turn out? You just did
Oh man,
one.
it turned out delicious.
I'll be the judge of that.
I'm saving some for Maggie Valley.
I I
I
hope
got
it's right before then.
well, whenever
Motor
next time I
City
make it up there,
Hellbelly. What's going on up here in Motor City?
my neck of the woods.
Fergie was
Where are you
in
from, Motor City? You said
Detroit.
Dave. Oh,
I
Dave.
guess he's from Detroit.
Obviously Detroit, but there are a lot of suburbs. A lot of suburbs up in
I
this
got
area.
you, brother. I got you. I'm not a Detroitian or a
It's a
Michigonian.
Michigander.
Michigonian.
No, Michigander. Goes by our right name now.
Michigander. That sounds goosey.
That's what it's. That's what they call us out
I like Michigonian.
of Michigan. Uh, well, talk to
Michigonian.
everybody in Michigan about that.
Michigander. Here we go. Think about recreating the recipe for last night's TV show. I didn't watch it yet.
Last night,
Yeah, I didn't watch the show on last night. Yeah,
it
Moonshiners.
must have been. Maybe just for the cough medicine. Must have been the medicinal one.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Um,
I'm about to get. I can't tell you, brother. If it's
um,
medicinal, hopefully
I
Lisa's
know
in
that
here.
Lisa. There were. I'm trying to think. I believe the guy who won the show did a oh elderberry. I believe he was from Kentucky.
Oh, did they have Master Distiller? Was it a rerun or what?
It had to be a rerun because it ain't gonna be back on for 2 weeks. Well,
Yeah.
next this week and next week.
I didn't watch anything last night, man. Yeah, I wasn't watching anything.
Hey, Lisa.
See, it's like Beetlejuice. You say their name and they pop right up. Currently letting 8 mesh amount brandy dripping overnight. Cool, cool. Yes, how I used to do mine before I started pressing them, and now I don't. I just I think this year I'm just going to Saturn mash and just leave the little bit of the last in there and just throw more in on top of it. I'm tired of.
Are you gonna do more than one run this year?
I do. Who do you think you're talking to? Tom Crum? I do all kinds of
Oh,
runs.
the only run I know that you did was
Tom, I
actually.
think I think they say Tom does 2 a year. Everybody likes Kid Tom. He runs all the time.
I think the only one I've seen you run
Wait a
this
minute. Wait a minute. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
next
When's
week,
the last time you ran? August, September?
September, when I come back from it'll be or farm to bottle. But I've got
Wow.
reasons. I've got reasons.
Wow.
Deer season
I
was
can't
going.
even believe you went there, bro.
Deer season was as soon as I got back home from farm to bottle.
September,
And then my
October,
shoulder went out.
November, January, February, March. 6 months. You're scheduled for 2 this year, I guess, at this rate.
I'm gonna get a bunch. I'm gonna get a bunch run. I've got to do the tiger time.
Yeah,
I've got to get that run. I'm gonna
yeah.
and it's just I
Somebody
got
said
too
they
much.
ran some of that, man. It had a unique
Uh,
flavor. They were trying to figure out what
Billy
gave it.
Billy Reed.
Yeah, yeah. Billy had it. And he said really a unique flavor, and he's trying to figure out
Uh,
what all he put in there to make it unique. We'll have to talk
Bruiser
to Bruiser. He won't give up that
Bruiser
secret.
will no. I tried tricking him a couple times. I'm like, oh, by the way, you said what else was that in there? He's like, ha, ha, ha. You think you catch me sleeping? So I'd like to know what it is.
What's going on, Donald? Yes, sir. It is a good night. It is a nice day. Getting a little windy and cool here.
Oh, it's cold out here. I'm down here.
Yeah, it was nice today, and yet beautiful day yesterday. I wish I felt good enough to get out and enjoy it, but it's got a little windy. But I heard from my buddy up in Minnesota that they got some high winds and expect 12 inches of snow. So I'm glad I'm not there. Hey, Cindy, what's going on,
Oh,
Damon?
Dana, what's up, brother?
Ever heard of Phoebe? How you pronounce that? Havidi?
Even Havid?
Havid?
Havid, yeah, it looks like
Havid?
Havid wheat.
Nah, just
I
winter
don't know. I
red
never.
and white and red wheat, hard and soft. I don't know Havid wheat. So maybe you can enlighten us onto that, bro.
Yes, yes. You still out there in Maryland, Damon?
Yeah, I think he's there till this weekend. Awesome. Wheated bourbon. Yeah, I like wheat. I use a lot of wheat, but I don't know what Havidi. Scooby using that Havidi wheat?
I like that. I like wheated bourbon.
Yeah, I like using wheat too. I like the sweetness. Little wheat,
I'm a
give it a little sweet, a little oats to soften it up a little bit. Yeah, man.
I'm gonna start filling that oak barrel this year, so I'm trying to. I want to do a 3 grams. Not sure what combination yet.
Yeah, I got two 15 barrels, 15-gallon barrels to fill up now, man. I'll be working this summer to fill two of them.
I did good after my shoulder surgery.
That's why you got a still hand.
He's working. He gets home about 5 and does his chores and eats
Well,
well.
I mean, work 8 hours a day, at least 16, hours to do everything else you need to do. Ended up with 11 gallons of blueberry brandy, clear and great flavor, post infused with different fruits. Awesome. I look forward to trying some of that.
Hell yeah. Hydro Man's got some good liquor there. He showed me all his liquor
Yeah.
he's got.
I gotta taste it though. I gotta be the judge of it, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. First time I mashed it was red winter week. Man, I gave my mash a funky smell.
Yeah,
And then there was periods I no, I've never
yeah,
well I've never
it
run I've
will.
never run a straight wheat.
Yeah, is it just red wheat or you got corn? You got a blend? Because I've never used just the only thing we were talking about this last week or this past weekend. The only grain that I've ever run 100% of is corn. I've never done all rye or all wheat or all oats or all barley or single malt. I've never done any single malt or anything like that. But I guess corn would be the only grain that I've run all by itself. I like the combination and 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 the bouquet of flavors that combining and bring. I wouldn't even dream of
It's
doing
just
an all rye. I like a little bit of rye, but I don't like heavy rye. So I've never dreamed of that. But what's going on, Justice? Hey, April. But Scooby, let us know. Is it just Southern Mississippi don't have the water source unless you have a good well? Well,
I can contest to that. I know that for a fact.
yeah, a lot of them boys they run into the same problem down in Southern Louisiana. It's using that water is just a no go. What's going on, brother? Well, you running and got mashed in, Justin.
He's gonna do a venison summer sausage liquor.
Oh
I think
yeah,
that'd be bomb. I think that'd be badass with that flavor. You know,
and
like I do.
taco. He was telling us about his taco shine. I
Yeah,
want
that
to try that.
taco. Yeah,
I think,
I know that'll make a damn good Bloody
yeah.
Mary.
Next thing you know, Taco Bell be getting their liquor license, won't they? So they can run that taco shine. I got about four
Yeah,
gallons of eggs. Give to me
yeah, I'd sell them. You're a rich man.
egg whites.
We'll get
Well,
them.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, okay.
eggs have starch. I mean,
I don't know.
I got. I'd have to do some research on that. I mean, there's some starch in there. So, I mean, anytime there's starches, unless
But
they're resistant to conversion, I don't know what type of amylase enzymes, whatever you'd have to use to convert the starches in the egg. Sometimes some of those starches are resistant, and sometimes they just require certain enzymes to break them down. And like regular alpha amylase, like we use a lot,
yeah,
sometimes won't do it, or the natural enzymes we usually get out of a malted grain sometimes wouldn't work on certain types of starches. So, but it would require a little bit of research on my part to answer that. I've never tried it or heard anybody doing it, but I'm sure they do. I mean, there's lots of different sources of starches, and that's just there is some in there. Might be messy. I don't know if you'd have to worry about spoilage before you could get a good fermentation going. Be interesting though. I have to. That's
if
something I've
nothing else,
never.
you get if nothing else, you'll get a good egg white soup. You
Yeah,
know,
rotten eggs.
yeah. Man, I'd hate to smell that still after running eggs through it.
Just moved, had an awesome well, but searching. Yeah, it's well water's good. If you don't have a lot of iron, that's around here. That's the biggest thing is lots of good, natural limestone wells and springs and everything. But in some places, there's high iron to go along with it, so it really offsets the benefits that the limestone's giving you. That iron is definitely something you don't want in your mash water. Going on, Jim? David Snyder. Did I miss something? Did David post something I missed? I'm
I haven't
looking
seen
back
it.
now, scrolling back. I'm sorry if I missed something, Dave. I'm not seeing it. If you could post it again, we'll try to get to it. Awesome, brother. Yeah, give me a shot for sure. The back set gets more acidic over time. If I add it to my fourth gin, fifth, etc., I'm concerned that the pH would be low. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, just throw it in with those eggshells like we were talking about, and that'll help buffer it and bring the pH up, and then you can add it. But yeah, you can throw some eggshells. I boil them, just to make sure there's nothing in there. Um, and kill everything off, and then you can use them. They're real cheap, but yeah, you could throw those in that back set, and they'll have a little bit of reaction. It's not instantaneous. Um, these oyster shells don't work like adding baking soda. It's not real quick. It's not a rapid change. So anytime you need to change something really fast, I know it's not good. That soda and the baking soda, the sodium in there is not great for the yeast. It's going to stress them a little bit, but sometimes that little bit of stress is probably better than the being, stressed by acids or something like that. So sometimes you just got to pick the least. Uh, but yeah, the egg white, that'd be pretty interesting. I'll have to do a little bit of research on that. And hello, Lisa. I'm sorry I missed this. I'm just scrolling down and trying to.
You're gonna
And
miss whole conversation with me.
I'm not going to try egg. I'm going to read about it.
What are we talking? Are you talking about the? Trust me, you're talking about the venison sausage. Because
Venison.
I would rather you waste your venison sausage on it just in case it
Yeah.
don't work. You know.
Now that summer sausage ain't easy to get. Now you got to kill it, you got to dress
I
it
know.
out, you got to age it, then you got to smoke it, and then you got to grind it and smoke it and package it. The sausage, that's a lot of
It
work.
was a lot of work. Oh, it was. I only did 7 pounds. I was going to do the 15. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Gonna make him a 55 gallon
Good point,
hydraulic
Jared.
press out of it. That'll work. I look
Yeah,
forward to seeing
yeah,
that video.
yeah, yeah. Well, the Law Boys and Jekyll and Josh made one up kind of like that.
Yeah,
I believe it was on a three. Yeah, it was on a 3 point hitch.
Michigander. Here you go. Am I that far behind him? Let me
Yeah,
get
you
caught up
are
here.
way behind.
I'm sorry.
Like I said, you lost them. You missed a lot of conversations already.
Oh, they just got my. Did they really? Why in the hell would they bring Bad Santa? They got Bad
Okay,
Santa on there.
goodness, you know,
Damn them.
they got your skin in a
They want my money.
got your skin in a COD.
Call of Duty.
Oh, I don't understand how you play this.
Well, it's tough to these days. There's so many damn cheaters on there. I can't compete against cheaters. It's hard to beat somebody who can see through the walls and has an aimbot. But I managed to get a lot of kills, but it's too tough. Let's see. Have some hoe two row. If I run it through my small yard chipper, will that crush it too much? I wouldn't. I mean, how
I
much you
don't.
got, Brad? I mean, how much volume we talking? Damn, a chipper. Man, that.
Small
I
yard chipper,
mean,
boy.
we talking 50-pound bags at a time, or what size batch?
I mean, will it even grind something that small?
I mean, I'm sure it hit something, but I'm
I
sure we
mean,
figure him out a way. I just want to need to know what volume you're doing first of all. So let us know, and I'll eventually scroll down to your answer.
I loved my grinder. I tell you what, the electric one I got, I was
It
grinding by
was
hand.
Shine
I
and
was grinding by
Crime, the
hand.
cop that wanted to shut down moonshiners in that place on the state line, but was killed. Oh, Buford. Buford T. Pusher. Buford T. Pusher. Who was that?
yeah.
Was that in Smokey and the Bandit?
No, Buford T. Justice. There was a
Yeah.
Buford that was uh,
Buford
he,
T. Justice. Wasn't that Smokey and the Bandit?
yeah, that was Smoking Bandit. But this
Okay.
Buford I talk about.
Is a
I
county.
watched the movie. I watched a movie about it. He was trying to stop all the moonshiners. He was like a one man army, and he got killed right at the state line. And that's the end of that was the end of the movie, pretty much.
I'm not
Real
going to
famous
comment on
guy. Real famous guy.
it. Yeah, that's a
But
hell of a way to become famous. Stop a bunch of fucking
I mean,
moonshiners trying to make a living. Fuck him.
I'm, if I could remember yesterday, I'd tell you about it. But
You
I
know,
can't
if you
remember
want
the
to stop
movie.
some fentanyl at the border, that's one thing, man. That's honorable. Stop moonshiners trying to make a living. Fucking. Uh, do you guys like to degas your mash before running? Absolutely. You know,
Yes,
depends on some of them. Like some of my white wines and brandies. Absolutely, man. Some of those things are just so full of carbonation. I mean, they taste like a champagne, you know. So they want to bubble up and foam up real easy. So I take my mixer in there, and actually I've got some videos of degassing it, man. It's interesting to listen. I like listening to the bubbles, you know, make the noise as they're blowing off and stuff. But you can tell the small bubbles are CO2 and the big bubbles are oxygen. So you can kind of tell about how far through the degassing you are. Once you get past all those oxygens, you're still going to have a bunch of CO2, but getting those oxygen out will help a lot. But some people will put a little bit of butter in there to help keep that foaming up down. But yeah, anytime you and beers, a lot of your beers, grain beers can get the same way, kind of carbonated beer, sudsy. So yeah, it's a good idea to degas. I definitely do.
I don't do it all the time, but
Yeah, you don't see a
sometimes
lot doing it, but it certainly will help keep things from puking over, for sure, and flatten things up a little bit. But yeah, I do it, especially on like my white wine that I do that I make in my grappa. It bubbles up quite a bit. And if I don't do it, I can always see it bubbling up in my bottom sight glass. I don't get the puking because I'm running a little bit of a column there. It's not a column per se, but I've got some height. Um, yeah. Damon goes home Friday. Damn, I am behind. Not seeing any comments, any suggestions. What did I miss, Mark? I'm sorry, brother. Repeat it for me. Oh, not seeing any comments in here. Wow. Hmm. Not sure. Well, you watched it, I guess, obviously on Facebook. Interesting. You should be able to see comments.
try going to Moonshine Militia page or Copper Still Outlaws page
That's what
and
I'm getting
click
ready to
on
do
that and
right
see.
now. Let me check the pages, brother, and see what's
I
going
mean,
on.
I'm getting all the comments on Copper Still
Okay? Okay,
Outlaws.
good. Yeah, I'm sorry. I try to watch this. I'm not seeing what you see. I'm watching the StreamYard because I can see comments from YouTube in here at the same time, so I have to kind of watch this one. So that's the reason I'm not able to see if there's anything in there or not. Okay. But
Oh, Bill Cluck's U.S. Stop the
Scandinavian
Killer.
wheat. Scandinavian wheat. Interesting. I figure it must be some of them Finlandian kind of thing.
Oh yeah, so Bill Cluck, he was stopping killers, I guess, but
Wait a minute. I need to buy
not
some
bad.
shipping containers for Shine. Yeah, it's a good way to store them. What's going on, Bill? They do all single grain whiskey and then blend them later. Well, that's one way to do it. Yeah, there's a lot of blended. One thing I don't know is I've understood a lot of people like doing an all wheat or an all barley, all oat, or something like that. It can get really gummy and hard to work with. And I know like a lot of times your cracked corn that's got usually a more coarse grind can kind of you know help settle
Well,
down, I guess, some of that gumminess and I don't know the right word I'm looking for, but help like a thinning agent almost when it caps drops, kind of help it clear a little bit. But I've never done other than like I said, other than corn, just an all single grain. Maybe someday I'll try all barley or something to do a single malt or something like that. But I don't see me doing all wheat or all rye or all oats. But I may try an all barley. See how that works out. It's a red
hopefully,
winter wheat. It's first time running this. Absolutely, let us know. I tell you that red winter wheat. It did you malt it first or did you just use it straight? I know that shit is hard as a rock, man. It's it's hard on the grinders and on the grain mills and food processors. I used to use like blenders and food processors and anything I get my hands on before I bought a legitimate grain mill. And I have to say that some of that corn and some of that red wheat did a number on those blades, man. It wear them out in a heartbeat. That red wheat is hard as a freaking rock, man. It's like grinding up rocks.
no, get up, get down. The grinder I got, it chewed up that red wheat I had pretty good. I mean, she's
You got
right
some
there because it's
Indian
selling.
corn growing, huh? Man, Randy's a busy man. What's going on, Gordon? Oh, that explains a lot. Mash bill, 140 pounds corn, 30 pounds wheat, 30 pounds six row. Man, if you're doing larger volumes like that, you just gonna have to end up. You just gonna have to get you a grinder, man.
Oh,
I, it's a pretty good initial expense, and I've used so many different things over the last few decades. For many many years, and ruined a lot of food processors and caused a lot of issues with exes and things about running their blenders and everything else. But I used to just go to Goodwill and buy cheap blenders and processors and stuff because I knew they was gonna and choppers and all that shit. But that is a little smaller volume, for the volume you're looking at. I definitely invest in a grinder. A couple $100, and it makes your life so much easier once you have one, man. They're so nice to have, man.
I
They
love
go
mine.
through they go through that freaking grain like butter, man. It just you go through bags so quick. You just like, why didn't I do this? Because it saves you a lot of time and trouble. I know it's a big
I
expense.
can grind 50 pounds of corn in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, you got a grinder. You got a grinder though, don't
Yeah,
you? Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've got the electric grade mill.
Yeah, you got. I picked one up Black Friday a couple of years ago, and it was like
The blue one,
160 some dollars, and it was normally like a 230 one. It
yeah.
was a nice one,
The
and
blue one, blue
yeah,
body or whatever. Yeah,
yeah, with the
yeah,
red
I got.
motor
Yeah,
shroud,
yeah.
and it
They
makes
only
your life so much easier. They didn't have a power switch on it, interesting enough, so you
what
might
I
want to
did, what I did at mine is I got one of the power strips. You got the on off on it.
right.
Plug it in there, just hit the
That'll
on
work.
off.
Yeah, yeah,
When I get my building set up, I'm actually make a switch for it,
right.
like a light switch.
Yeah, I like your idea, but as good as making a light switch. You don't have to do anything. Just use that. That's a good idea.
Well, it's gonna get mounted to a bench and everything be wired out there. So They have permanent water running out there,
Oh,
hot
thank
water
you, Lisa,
tank.
for answering.
Permanent tub.
Damon loves him some more. Yeah. Don't
I thought
know if
Damon
it's
was a
let's see.
whorehound.
Don't know if it's true. But heard old timers would mash cucumbers and greens and tomatoes. I'd say, there may be some truth to it. Anything they could get their hands on. I don't know about all that, but I know like green beans,
Oh,
there's a lot of starches in that. I mean, anywhere they could pull starch, they'd do it. And desperation and addiction make you do some crazy things. You need that money, you need that alcohol. I've seen people that go to some pretty extreme measures to get it over the years. Back in those days, they'd take an Aquavelva and pour it over a slice of bread and think that was denaturing it, and they'd drink that shit. Aftershave, crazy, crazy.
no, no, no.
Went to St. Thomas when I was in the Navy, and went into Arby's. We got off the boat. Arby's had a bar. Yes, Taco Bell's gonna have Taco Shine. Justin's gonna have him a national contract with Taco Bell. Separating bags of jelly beans. Oh, Easter Bunny.
Oh, I used to go all the time in jail. Fireball.
Yeah. Red Hots. Yeah. Remember we eating them as a kid. Them little hot tamales. Remember those?
Yeah,
Black
took it. I
jelly
don't know which one was
beans. I'm not a big licorice eater.
black jelly beans. Oh my God, Jägermeister. First thing that comes to mind. Oh, the Jägermeister hangovers.
Yeah, I've heard of using eggshells as a thinning agent. I've never. Oh yeah, eggshells. I thought he was talking about whites. Yeah, I've heard of them using whites as a thinning agent. Yeah, eggshells are calcium carbonate, just the same. Absolutely. But yeah, they do work slowly. It's more of a buffer. It's not. It's not instantaneous like a baking soda, and it
Yes,
doesn't. Yeah, it's different.
stabilizer.
Definitely different. Calcium carbonate.
And it's basically a stabilizer.
Yeah. Buford T. Pusser. That's him. Yeah, Buford T. Pusser. That's from
I don't think it was
Buford,
walking tall. Or was it
Buford
walking
T.
tall?
Walking Tall. Yeah, that's what it was.
I said
Walking
I can't remember
Tall.
if it was walking tall or not. I
Yeah.
know there was a movie that came out, I guess, in the '70s, or it was filmed like in the '70s, about a cop, and I thought his name
Yeah,
was
it was
Buford too. Not Smoking the Bandit. No, this was
no smoking about it, Buford T. Justice. Um Buford Pusher was I think Walking Tall.
can't imagine it was tall.
Yeah, yeah, the Buford Pusher and Walking Tall, that was he was just going against a gang. I don't think they were a
No,
murderous
they weren't
gang or
moonshiners.
something. Yeah,
No,
they don't think
they,
they're
they, they weren't
moonshiners.
moonshiners. The one I was talking about was actually about moonshining.
But I have heard of them using egg whites as a thinning agent in winemaking and stuff, but that's a little different what we were talking about, Gordon. Yeah, apples, they do make a pretty carbonated beer for sure. I got to try to get caught up here. Down a 5-gallon refillable water bottle full of my strawberry brandy. Clear. That's just
Oh,
a
okay, run it.
that's a wine, man. That's basically like a champagne or wine. Just rack it off and and if it's not sweet or anything, you want it sweet, you can sweeten it up a little bit. But just bottle it up as it is. You can put some potassium metabisulfate in there and kill off the yeast, or a little potassium sorbate to neuter it, I guess, so they can't breed anymore. And that way you don't have to worry about blowing the corks off your bottles. But yeah, you can kill all that yeast off and make a wine or a champagne out of it. That's basically,
Here,
it's been in secondary, what we call secondary fermentation. So yeah, you could definitely use it as a wine. That make rice hulls. Yeah, that work too. What do they call it? Yeah, yeah, that's another finning agent. That definitely works as well. I think you could use ground up corn cobs if you's in a pinch, and but yeah, anything to help
here.
filter it and thin it out. Sure. Didn't malt the wheat, but did run it through my mill. It was okay, but I haven't checked. A lot of times with wheat and stuff, they'll just roll it or crush it instead of just grinding it. Just make a lot of times it gets rolled, kind of like oats. Rolled and crushed, or you can just crush it instead of grinding it to a powder. But I do know if it's like a rye, the finer the grind, the more spice you tend to pull from it. So some people just crack it, bust it open, and then I mean, malting it is another good way to soften the flavors up and make it a little easier to crack open and get to. But just experimenting. There's no right or wrong, but just trying, crushing it. It kind of gets you one flavor, grounding it to a powder, get another. And some people don't do anything to it at all and get a very, very light flavor. But that almost seems a little wasteful to me because
When I
most,
run mine, I've run it through a couple times through my mill.
yeah,
I keep taking the blades down each time.
yeah, most of these grains have like an outside husk that, protect it. And even in a mash and stuff, you can see the corn, if you got whole kernels of corn per se, it won't break that down unless you physically bust it. So you're not getting at the goodies inside the grain. So I either crush them, roll them, or grind them. I guess you could adjust your grinder to the lightest setting just to kind of crack it up. What meal do you use? The Beaver. I'm trying to think of what it was. It's one of those funny Chinese names they just put on anything.
Mine's
Old
never
tiger.
used those.
If they come up with
They're just like the Vers. They're all the
yeah,
same. I don't think I've ever seen anything different. Maybe an amp or something.
yeah. Look at your wattage. That's usually the only difference is the
Why?
wattage. Yeah.
I do, man. Yeah. Got to put a switch on my grinder. What's the weirdest thing you've run? I have a mass bill of chicken feed, sugar, cereal in the buckets now.
Yeah, I
Nothing.
like Roger's idea on the switch. I like just tie up your cable to one of those little ground
One of the
blocks.
power strips.
Yeah, power strips and just use that. And that's
It's got
a
the
pretty good
built-in
idea.
breaker, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never run anything too weird. The king of running something weird would have to be Justin Meredith.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
he's so far outside the box.
I've I've thought of a few crazy things. If you want to get crazy outside the box, like there's a lot of things that normally you wouldn't think of. But probably the weirdest thought I've had was when I was talking to my daughter. She was talking to me about this doing a science project in school and stuff, and there was these worms that were secreting a mucus that was feeding their offspring, and it's like, are they milking? It's like they were milking, creating a milk for their babies. So you want to know if it was like milk, and so I did some research on the actual mucus,
Oh my
and
God.
it actually does have enough starches and things in there that you could literally take worm mucus and make a shine out of it. They use it in the cosmetic industry and other stuff. I thought it'd be harder than hell. It'd be like milk. Who wants to milk a mouse?
No,
It'd be like milking one of them worms for the mucus.
no.
But I guess they commercially raise these and have a way to extract mucus from them, and they use it in the cosmetic industries and other industries as well. So I guess there's a place where I could order some worm mucus, and you could probably find an enzyme to break down those starches and make a worm mucus shine. If you want to get that far outside the box, man, that's about as crazy as I can think of. But yeah, I mean, Justin's doing some fun stuff with brisket and tacos and now summer sausage. So
No,
that sounds a lot more feasible and tasty than my worm mucus shine. What do you
yes,
think?
it does. I mean,
You
I
want
got
to
it.
try some of that mucus shine. Come on now.
Oh,
You
no,
want it.
no. Even the word mucus makes me want to vomit.
Yeah.
7 pounds of deer sticks made, and all I got stolen 8 of them all in 3 days. I guess you gotta hide my venison from my old lady. She claims she don't like venison. Bullshit.
Yeah, she'll eat it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think if you maybe had something low enough pH, it would help prevent some of the sport. I don't know. I know they like, in canning, they used a lot of acids to help prevent things from going bad in the canning and help preserve things. So I'm wondering if, get a good low pH and a yeast that could tolerate it. It could be possible, but I'm just not sure if it would be worth it. But it'd be interesting. It's definitely something to look at. But with eggs as expensive as they are, man, it'd be an awful
oh, that's
expensive fucking mash.
that's a
Fuck.
lot. That's an awful lot of egg white omelets.
Yeah, that's more expensive than fucking blue agave, man. That'd be an expensive ass mash, man. I remember, when I was a kid, we'd throw fucking eggs in houses, and fuck, now you're using them to pay for a down payment to buy a house, I guess.
Yeah. My neighbor just gave me 18 farm fresh eggs. Boy, the
Damn,
lady
did you give me a
standing
quarter
those ones.
shine? Trade you a
I tried
quarter
to pay him.
shine for a dozen
I
eggs.
I tried to pay him for it. He's like, no, 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 I don't want those. What neighbors do. So, but I told the old lady, stay out of those. Those eggs are mine. You ain't
Yeah,
getting
I've
none
got
of them
some
farm fresh.
strawberry champagne in there, Randy, that I made. I think it's about 5 years old. I got my little Facebook notification about when I made it a few days, well, about a week ago, and I didn't realize it was 5 years. So it's a 5 year old champagne now, but it's pretty good. It's real dry. It's dry as fuck. So I would imagine that this is the same way. I didn't stop fermentation early and keep it sweet. But if you wanted to, you could put some of those Camden tablets, potassium metabisulfate. It's the same thing. You could put those in there and kill everything off, and then maybe let that gas and degas it if you want to make a strawberry wine, or you could leave the carbonation in there if you wanted to make like a sparkling wine and sweeten it up a little bit after you add those Camden tablets. Got 7 pounds of deer snack sticks made, and I got stoned and ate them all 3 days. It's easy to do, man, especially once you get the munchies. I don't know how many times I sit here and get the munchies and be on playing my games or something, or into typing something up, and just sit there and eat the whole time, man, not realize what I'm doing, sit there and eat and play and fuck. Next thing I know, man, I've eaten a I'm gonna have to get another tub of dip and another bag of chips or something. Y'all mashing any center? I've got some blackberry still going in there. I don't know if I'm gonna leave it as a wine or if I'm gonna make a brandy out of it. I'm still kind of in the middle, but that's just sitting there in the secondary fermentation. That's another good thing about brandies is once you get them in the fermenter and you use your airlocks, a lot of people say, "Oh no, the airlocks," but if you're going for a long term uh, fermentation, yeah, use your airlocks. You don't want a bunch of fucking flies in your shit and a bunch of other stuff in there and stuff, you know, roaches and shit crawling in it and all that. So I keep airlocks on it, man. But for like a grain or something, you don't need it. So I don't want to get in all that. Some people get really heated and elevated about airlocks. It's like,
I'm
it's
actually
a
good,
dollar
man.
or two, man. It's not like it's cost you an arm and leg. It's not a lot. You know, and people say, "Oh, I've been doing this and this X amount of years, and I've never had one." That's fine. That's wonderful. Chances are it won't, but then it will. Your first time. There's always that first time.
The next couple of days, I'm a
All
mash. I
right,
got some.
Christopher. I'll try it if you make it, man. I'll never turn down a sip of anything, but I'll try it. All right. Most worm farms have coffee grounds and paver. The mucus worms are kept with no filler in the slime. Cool. I knew I should have asked Lisa about that. Eggland's best shine. There you go. Fine shine. Yeah, actually, that's probably getting a little bit old for some fruit wines. Everybody thinks that all wines are like grape wines and they get better with age for infinity and beyond. No, grapes do, plums and certain fruits do, but some fruits, once they get to a couple few years old, they start degrading. They actually start getting worse and worse and worse. So sometimes it's better to drink some of those fruit wines than well, maybe not the grapes, but some of those wines, yeah, some of the fruit wines they just don't age well. And I'm thinking that the strawberry may be one of those where after a certain point in time, it kind of peaks and then starts degrading over time. So I'm gonna have to break some out and try it. These gals I give it to for bottles, they seem to like it. That's what I used to trade for my wine bottles that they save me in liquor bottle. Boston baked beans.
Lisa.
So you gonna make you some jelly bean shine? That's really not a bad thing to post with. I guess that that jelly, that glycerin stuff in the jelly bean, that'd probably be like a one of these glycerins that they use. Excuse me, I probably shouldn't clear my throat in the microphone. I'm sorry if I busted somebody's ears that's got a headset on. I've been
Nah,
sick, but yeah, I think some of that. What do they? Lisa can tell me. What do they put on in the middle of that jelly bean? I guess it's like a glycerin and a gelatinous. I guess it's kind of like what they use to make gelatin. Is it gelatin that they use, or maybe a combination? But I would think that would be kind of smooth your liquor out a little bit. Yeah.
sugar, cornstarch, flavoring and other ingredients.
Yeah.
Corn syrup is the main ingredient.
Yeah, that's the sweetener. I
Starches
just
give
wonder.
jelly beans their chewy.
I guess the
Starches give it chewy.
gelatin, the same thing they used to make jellies with. Pectin. Yeah, pectin. There you go. Gelatin
Starch gives the jelly
is
beans a
is
chewy
pectin is
texture.
a is gelatin pectin or is pectin a gel? I don't. Shit, I don't know. I'm googling now. You got me thinking. Pectin and okay. While pectin and gelatin are gelling agents, they differ in their origins. Okay, of course, pectin's gelatin is derived from collagen that originates in animals. Pectin extracted from fruits. Okay, so I think I'll go with you and go with the gelatin instead of fucking collagen. I'll go with pectin. I mean, yeah, pectin. That sounds a little more appetizing to me. Pectin.
But hey,
Yeah, let's
let's have a
do. Damn, that's right. It is time for a shot. How in the hell we gone this long without a shot? What are you drinking, Roger?
Budweiser. I don't feel like I think a lot of getting more out of the fields.
Well, I guess you have to kill a beer then when we take a shot. That's about the equivalent, ain't
Yeah.
it? I'm fucking with you. Roger ain't been feeling good either.
Should have went out back, got some shine and dug up.
That right there just killed everything in my throat, just causing it to itch and scratch. Yeah.
But hey, I'm
You
down to
think
10% of this tablet.
you think I wouldn't get sick as much as I drink, but I guess somehow that shit got past me. Got past the alcohol and got me.
Did you hear me?
Huh?
I'm down to 10% of this tablet. I can't wait to get that new computer tomorrow.
You're
I think
down
it'll
to
be
10% already? You got the charger on it the whole time?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Told you this thing just don't charge. It takes 4 hours to go from dead to full.
Well, hopefully this weekend Roger will have his new
That was
laptop.
tomorrow. That was tomorrow.
Well, you got to get on there and download everything and get everything ready
Uh,
and get your Facebook on
tomorrow.
there and passwords, everything. Get it all ready and
My
plug
computer
his.
be faster than
I'm
yours.
not. I'm not going to give up your secret on some of your new equipment that you bought. We're going to keep that
I have
secret
to.
till then.
Well, hell, if you're gonna act like a pro, got to be a pro,
Yeah, man.
or look like a pro at least.
Yeah, you got me, man. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to get me one. I'm looking like a slouch over here now. Can't make enough
Uh,
dark chocolate covered Oregon brand dark cherry shine now. That sounds pretty tasty. I ain't gonna give up your secret on the chocolate either. I remember you telling me what you was using, so I ain't gonna give up your secret, brother.
whose comment was that?
I can't tell.
That was that. Was that
It's a
Hydro Man?
secret. Yeah,
Yeah.
you too, brother. Man, I'm telling you, man, it's gotten to me.
Move.
I think it's been what 2 weeks.
Move.
Me been sick.
What? Oh, you been sick?
Who me?
Yeah.
You can't be
What
right.
the hell? Here's one of myself that just. That look good. Can you smell it, Sam?
Yeah, that's good, man.
That's just a
What's that
venison
casing?
sausage casing.
That ain't no intestine, is it?
No, no,
You don't use intestine casings.
no.
You got your little grinder that feeds it into the tube and everything.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
We got the stuffer. I got the meat grinder. I got
Yeah, man. I've
the,
been feeling like shit for 2 weeks, brother. I got the. Can't believe Roger asked me if I've been sick. You just.
no, I said you've been sick. You said 2 weeks.
Yeah. I guess I got influenza A, and then about 5 days ago, I guess I decided to start getting migraines. I don't get those very often, but I started getting the migraines on top of it. So imagine having the influenza A and then all of a sudden migraines and having to take pain meds on top of that. See, after the last 4 or 5 days, I felt like shit, man. I thought I was gonna die. Felt like a death warmed over. And I still ain't feeling real good, but I'm feeling a little bit better. At least the
I
migraine
come
ain't.
up, I come out of the pharmacy with a grocery bag of medicine.
Yeah, today's the
I think
first day I hadn't had migraines in 5 days, so I'm just that's a relief, man. The influenza isn't so bad after all. But I
I'm
had to
sure you
take
get some
pain
really
meds
bad.
for it, and the pain meds make me sicker than fuck. I can't sleep. They make me real hyper. They do me the opposite of a lot of people. I was telling Roger about that before we went on. A lot of people they'll take a pain pill and it makes them all moody and laid back and sleepy and dopey. Fuck! I wish that made me feel good. Me, I get real wired out. I get testy. I get mean, and I get cold sweats, anxious, nervous. My stomach knots up. I get cold, pale, and sweaty. Fuck it, they tear me up, but it's still better than the pain of a migraine. God damn, it's bad.
Christopher Morrow.
Well,
Remember my
it's
name. I'm planning to be a
technically
barber
it's
with
not
somebody.
migraine. I've got nerve damage in my neck, and that's the source of the pain. They call it a migraine, but it's technically not really a migraine. It's nerve damage. But what's going on, Scully? What's up, brother?
Push that thing away. Mark, it's hard. It was hard to put it away. I wanted to chop a chunk off.
Christopher Morrow. Remember my name? I'm planning to be part of the clique by year's end. Oh no. Let's not go there, man.
Wait, you got. It depends on what click.
Yeah, there's a lot of clicks, man. We don't click. We're all clicking here, man. It's all one click.
You know, you got the trade war that will start happening after they have the fucking podcast wars going
It's
on
that
too.
thing, Roger. Yeah.
Put the thing away. Yeah,
It looked like one of my condoms he wrapped it with.
yeah, but I mean that's what an ounce of sausage or meat would all it take to fill that
No,
puppy.
that wrap you used, that looked like one of my condoms.
Yeah. Well, to ask Ann about this.
Yeah.
Where's she at? Put on the spot.
Lisa. Oh hell, man, that's some funny shit right there, man. Lisa cracks me up.
Huh?
Lisa's funny as shit. Yeah, there you go. That's his
That's his
other
other
leg.
leg.
Yeah, that's
That's damn near long enough to be. That's the first time I ever bought them cakes. I couldn't believe how big they are. They're like almost 2 pounds.
all right. Sam Long's best place to buy the snap block. All right. Snap lock bags for shipping. Oh, yeah, the pouches. Yeah, the pouches.
I always thought about taking like a spray foam and making inserts in there so it doesn't.
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah,
thought
I'd
about
say
that
just
when it's
having a sturdy box, having a decent box that's got, or double box it. You could get a sturdy box and put them in it and kind of package around it with some little foam or whatever. You don't have to use the spray foam, but like peanuts, and then put that inside of another box with peanuts wrapped around it, double box. Yeah, you shouldn't have any problem unless it just gets totally crushed and there's not much that you're going to be able to do about that. But yeah, the little pouches, you know, like these right here. See that, Ferg? I still got you. Root beer from Mark's. It's getting less and less, though. If you don't come and get it, it's going to be gone soon. But yeah, those pouches, that's a good sized pouch right there. That's a that's a big pouch. Let's see. Here's a little bit
I think I
smaller
have the
pouch. So yeah, you could use, these right here, what a lot of people use. This guy
I think
here,
I have the
I
fuck eight
think that's
ounce.
my No, that's my root beer in there. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, it's
Central Georgia, Blessed Dennis. I don't know of any communities in Georgia really.
what is it?
Chris Romano looks, he's searching for communities in Central Georgia, lots of dead ends so far. I don't really know of any that I can think of, other than like the Dukes of Hazzard community.
Look, I'm searching for a community in central Georgia. Lots of dead ends so far. You talking about a community of
What's that?
shiners or
What's
friends
that
that
community?
shine, or I guess in the groups, man. Just first get on Facebook and join the militia and Copper Steel Outlaws and DIY
That's yeah,
shine and a lot of
that's the
different
best place to
groups.
start.
And start getting out there and chatting with people and meeting people. There's quite a few people down in the Bahamas. We got a lot of in Alabama. We got a lot of Arkansas. We got some Mississippi. Help Mississippi in the chat tonight. Got a lot of people from the South. So once of course, people are going to be weary. Somebody new coming in. Wanting to meet people and immediately. Wanting to come watch you shine and teach them and be your apprentice and all this. Because that's exactly what a cop would do. So a lot of people are going to be weary for a while, but start coming to some of the festivals and start meeting some people, making some friends, and then eventually, you'll build some trust and maybe be able but just come to the festivals. You'll make a lot of friends and get a lot of insight and join the groups and come into our podcast and ask questions and learn. We that's what we're here for. To help people make it a safe hobby. And make it work. We want people to be successful because if you get started and shit fucks up the first couple few times, people just say fuck it and they quit and they don't ever do it again. And that's that's one
Copper
less
still
person.
goes. Copper is still outlawed. It's a zero drama. I mean, there's zero tolerance for that. So it's a really
Yeah,
good group. There's a lot. I mean, we're growing quite a bit over the last few months. We're about 150 short from 1,000 finally.
yeah,
But it's been a long road just to get where we're at. Hey, Scully
yeah.
Shine.
It's a lot of fun.
I feel you in the nerve jam again. Something. I'm on the same dose 4 to 6 times a day for my phantom pain, Scully. It's the only thing that'll calm them down.
If I guess if my migraines was a constant thing, they would give me something like that. But
Terry takes
I
some with
generally
heat.
get about maybe 5 to 8 a year. Maybe every couple of months I'll get one. So it's not real often. Sometimes I'll go a few months. I have noticed that weather changes. Like if it's warm and dry and it gets cold and wet, you can bet your ass I'm gonna have a fucking migraine. But those tend to not be as bad when it's a weather thing. But like this last one, I guess it got a little warm and then cold and wet again when this cold front just came through. So maybe that's what brought it on. But I mean, my body's like a
That's
fucking weather man. I can tell you when it's gonna go from warm and dry to cold and wet, man, because I can feel it in my neck.
so I got this cold. Was out trail riding, beautiful day, 70 degrees. I get to nighttime at 30s. Coming out of the mountains, it's frigid. I
Yeah,
never take a hoodie or a jacket with me.
but yeah,
Uh,
Christopher, jump on there and join the groups, man. There's you can ask all the questions you want, and there'll be a lot of people in there to help. And if they give you bad info, a lot of times I won't answer all the questions. I'll look, and if there's good answers already, I won't chime in. I'll throw a like down or something if somebody's sounds like somebody else getting that little but flu
But
bug.
that's what I said. I got it.
Yeah,
I know how I got it.
yeah. Going to the doctor's office. That's where you get it.
No, going up trail riding with no jacket on and
Shit, going to the
coming home with
doctor's
a cold
office is
out.
Worst place to go, hospitals and doctors' offices, man. And get it just fucking opening the damn touch of the doorknob. In all honesty, I get the weariness, but not a quitter. Been brewing. Hell yeah. Yeah, if you've been brewing beer, you definitely got the head start. And yeah, you know how it is, when you got some outsider coming in and being a biker, same way with the group. Nobody ever trusts a new guy, till you build the trust. And but yeah, just join up in the groups. We've got so many new people in there. Nobody's going to treat you bad. They're going to ask you questions. Nobody. I mean,
Uh,
hell, if I have a
there's
cop
so
asking me questions, I'll answer his
what's
questions just the same. I mean, there's a lot
what's
of
up?
cops that shine and like drinking it. Hell, I've been at some of these festivals and had cops wanting to know if we had something we could sneak them a little bit, and of course I have to say, I have to respectfully say, no, I'm not stupid, but I kind of feel for him because I know they'd like to get them sometimes, and I just can't. I'm sorry, I can't help you, but I'd like to. I
Uh,
mean, I like what they do. Other than if they wasn't after me, I'm 100% behind what they do. I definitely back the blue, but not when it comes to shine. But yeah.
what's
But
up,
yeah, jump in the
Jace?
groups, man, and ask away. Ask any questions you got. Show you equipment, and we got a bunch of bikers in the groups as well, and you fit right in.
How's it going, Jason? What are you up to, bub?
What's up, Jason?
Mark
I just
Morgan.
saw you in
Mark
here. What's going
Morgan.
on, brother?
You all thought about a YouTube or TikTok showing beginners how to mash in, or something to that effect for newbies?
Yeah, I'm gonna
I've
do
thought about it.
some
I've thought
instructional
about, but
videos.
but there's so many out there. I mean, you could go on YouTube and find hundreds of
Yeah, there's a bunch out
different.
there, but there's only a few that I would deem really good. George is a good one. George is great for beginners and intermediates. Probably not the best for advanced stuff, but he's great for beginners and intermediate. He's helped a lot of people over the years. And he's got
That's
good info. Cyrus, he does some videos out there. He's got good info.
yeah.
Amanda
I
is
don't
getting ready to teach classes when she gets her distillery. Well, I think she's
She
already
is
doing it.
teaching class.
So
She is teaching
yeah,
classes
she's
down in
already
Georgia.
teaching them right now. So Amanda's classes would be a great thing. I think Alan Bishop may be thinking about doing some classes. That'd be another great place to go. And like I said, I'm thinking about doing some instructional videos and so there's good information out there to be had. There's also
You know,
for every one good info out there, there's probably 10 that are bad,
right?
and that don't know what they're talking about. There's a lot of people, and we get it in the groups, and I can understand. We are not. I was just talking about this not too long ago. It's funny how you get some people in there, and then you help them, and they ask questions, and you help them and everything, and after that first, batch comes out and it's good, they're like, fuck it, I don't need no more help. I don't need, then they all like they change. They get all cocky and shit, like, I don't need no more help. I'm good, man. I know it. And they know it all. They 1 month in their first shine and you can't tell them nothing after that. They know it all. And there's always some of those as well. And they start, educating and teaching and everything else, and they have no clue what they're talking about half the time. But yeah, you get a mixed bag. I think who was it I was talking to? Was it Jason or somebody was telling me they were thinking about doing some instructional videos. And let's see who that is. Sorry for me. Remember, I talked to so many people.
I'll answer some of these questions while you're busy.
Let's see
Like you
here.
said, yeah, let me know how that turns out. With what we talked about. I think you see a big difference in it. Motor City helped really.
Oh yeah, Tyler
So
Butcher. He's going to do some instructional videos. Sorry, Roger. I wanted to get that out
no
there.
problem.
Tyler is who that was.
Um, Motor City Hillbilly. I'm from actually Warren, grew up down there, but I lived up by Flat Rock, Garden City, Taylor, Flint. I've been all over Michigan, but I always call northern Michigan up there by the bridge home. So that's where all my family be.
You definitely ain't looking hard enough. There, I mean, there's a lot of
Don't
there's a
call
lot
one
of
district here.
assholes. Yeah,
I
but
could
yeah,
probably name a couple.
yeah, there's a few, but we try to root them
Yeah.
out and get them out of here.
Mark Morgan, some reputable woman with a podcast to be back. You talk about doing like a uh, intermediate or a beginner's match class. Um,
Where are you seeing
yeah,
this?
podcast would be pretty good. Mark Morgan, some reputable podcast about it. If I had a camera person, I'd do a intermediate or beginner's uh match class.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing it now for a while, and I mean, it's just getting the time to do it. There's so much going on. It, I got to get in a place where I don't have anything else I can dedicate to it and give it the time that it deserves. Um, I don't want to do it kind of just on the fly. I want it to kind of be structured and it's hard for me, man, because I'm like a child. My mind just kind of, it's hard for me to focus on one thing and stay focused because sometimes just one little thing can get me off on a tangent somewhere and I lose focus of what I was actually saying, you know. So I want to kind of get it structured so I can set like a syllabus out that shows, from the very beginning to the end and just kind of do chapters, I guess. Each thing kind of a chapter, start out at the very beginning with like maybe getting equipment and all that kind of things together and your equipment and what each of them does. I mean,
How,
that alone is a
how to
lot
sa-
of information, and then
how to sanitize your equipment before you
yeah,
use it.
keeping it clean and doing the airlocks and when you need them or not and all that. I mean, there's a lot. Like there's a year's worth of info right there, if you wanted to really get into detail about everything. And then doing mashes, there's so many different mashes, and different techniques for each different kind of mash and different ways of doing each, like your grain mash, you don't really need an airlock or, like your extended, brandy fermentations and stuff where you're going to need an airlock where you're using secondary fermentations. There's so many different things to cover there. And then finally you get into the distilling part, which, is, there's a lot to that as well. So it's just trying to keep everything focused, linear, and without getting off on tangents and keeping it structured is kind of what I've been working on now is in getting the information together and then presenting it. I would like to do some illustrations because a lot of times it's hard to describe things for me and if I could use like an illustration or something to kind of point at. So, maybe I get my daughter in here to help me learn how to put up some of these and show my screen and do some of that kind of stuff so I can, have some illustrations and graphs and things like that I can pop up while I'm doing it. So, there's a little IT there to be learned as well about, doing the video and presenting it well. So it's a work in progress. It's a lot of work, putting something like that together. So, you know, doing a spontaneous grab the phone, hey, a 3 minute thing talking about one specific topic, like, on TikTok, that's one thing, and that'd be kind of fun and easy to do. But to do a whole class and from beginning to end, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work, a lot of information to cover.
When are you gonna start practicing for that watermelon contest? Last minute?
Yeah, probably. No, I ain't gonna fuck up this time like I did last time. I got, yeah, Yeah, and I ain't gonna try something new either. I'm gonna have to. I'll start as soon as I can start getting some fresh watermelons. Hell, I can't find fresh watermelons yet. Gotta wait for them to grow down in Mexico before I can get some.
Now you got to go to Indiana.
Huh?
Got to go to Indiana to get them.
Indiana.
Yeah, where beds wet.
Oh, well, man. If I
I
mean, if
think
they're
I'll take.
getting watermelons right now, those got to be coming from south of the border.
Oh yeah, them ain't be coming up much longer.
Yeah, but yeah,
We we
I gotta get watermelons. I'm gonna have some watermelons in there.
we might have to start growing our own pretty soon with the way Trump's doing shit.
I don't know, Randy. That's what we've been talking about. I'm gonna try to reduce it down like they do the maple syrup. I'm gonna try to get some water out of it, make a natural, watermelon syrup. Essentially, just dehydrate the watermelon, and try to go that route, get all the water out of it, and try to pull as much flavor out of it as I can. I'm giving up on my secrets, but that's all right.
That's how I plan on doing it.
Yeah, I
I
knew
don't
that's
plan
what
on.
you're planning.
No, I don't plan on using much flavoring in my jars and my thumper, but I do want a strong sweet watermelon flavor, so I might have to, uh, enhance it a little bit.
Yeah, post favorite.
Motherfucker, I don't post shit flavored nothing anymore. I don't. Ever since I got those jars, I like all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like that. I love that clear, running a clear flavor. I mean, it's difficult. So I mean, that that blueberry tiger shine I'm gonna run. That's gonna be the first one I'm gonna try and do. Like that.
Is it blueberry that you got?
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm
Well,
sorry. Ah,
yeah. I'm gonna do a blueberry tiger shine.
the one you
Just I
got
just
from
want to.
him, blueberry.
No, it's regular tiger shine.
Okay, okay.
But
What
I'm
did
gonna
uh,
try.
what did Billy Reed say was unique about the flavor? Well, is it hard to
Well, he
describe? I guess.
yeah. There's an ingredient in the mash bill that Bruiser won't give up for nothing.
Right, right. Yeah, we
Which
talked
I don't
about
blame
that.
him.
And he won't
Yeah.
tell
So
his yeast either.
no.
Yeah,
And
he's one of
and
them.
every time I go to my bar, I grab one of them bags and I smell it. And I'm trying, and I can smell it, but I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, we
It's
may have
something
to
simple.
send it
It's
to the
something simple.
laboratory and have them check it.
Yeah. But
'Cause Randy's
now I'm,
got the strawberry hookup.
oh, does he?
Yeah, he's
The
got
hell, he's
truckloads.
all the way down in Florida though.
Yeah, I know. That don't help us much, does it?
No, not unless you can drop ship some. But, hey, I've
It'd
got
be
like one
expensive
bar
to take a
left.
damn truck all the way down there too and try to bring back. So,
Yeah, I got one bar left. We're gonna jump off here. Let's do
all
one
right,
more
brother.
shot.
Yeah,
Do one
yeah.
more
Let's
shot.
do one more
Ready?
shot before you go. All right, let me post this link. We gotta get somebody else in here before you leave. And you want to know
Okay.
why I do that? Let me show you why. Let me see here. That's why I don't want to see my big ass face like that. Look, that's why I don't do these alone, man. 'Cause look, uh, nobody wants to see that, man. No, nobody'd watch. It'd scare people off, man.
Yeah, I need to go check my sugar too. So, all right, bub. I'll talk to you
All
later.
right,
I'll call you
brother.
tomorrow when I get that. I'll call you when I get that laptop tomorrow.
All right, man. Give me a shot.
Do a test run. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Good talking to y'all. Remember, shine on, shine safe.
Shine on, brother.
Later.
Later. Oh, hell. Somebody jump in here so you don't have to see my big ugly head. Damn, I'm about to back up. Wonder if I could post. Yeah, let's see my. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, that's a lot better. No, that's too much. Why can't I get set? Yeah, that'll work. That's cool. Somebody else jump in here. Any other questions? Anybody want to jump in? I don't know, Christopher. I put the link out there. Anybody want to jump in here? We can. We can sit and chat for a while. If you got any questions, you can jump in here and ask her. You want everybody to see your pretty face? Jump on here so I can hide mine. Well, if nobody jumps on or asks any questions, I'll end her. I ain't sitting here talking to myself. I don't have one planned, Joseph. I'm gonna do some videos. I'm not gonna do like a class per se. You know, again, if you're gonna do a class, I couldn't recommend Amanda highly enough. Um, she's got them at her new distillery, Unholy Beginnings, and I think that'd be an excellent class to take, and you couldn't meet a nicer, better person and have a good time and get to know her and check out the new distillery that they're working on in Virginia. It'd be uh, it'd be awesome. But as far as doing classes like that, I don't see it even in the foreseeable future. Um, I will be doing some little videos, kind of like George did, trying to help some people in the community, and I'll probably post them in the groups for people to watch. Hey, got somebody on here. What's going on, Christopher?
How's it going?
What's up, brother?
Oh, nothing. Hanging out,
Yeah,
watching you guys.
yeah. Just chillaxing, talking shine, man.
In the right
But
place.
yeah, I may do some videos like that, and but as far as teaching a class where people come and do hands on and all that, I don't see that happening in the foreseeable future unless some very wealthy individual employs me and wants me to come to their distillery and do it or something like that. That's always a possibility, but that I wouldn't rule out. But as far as me doing it here at home or something like that, it ain't gonna happen.
Do you get a
But
lot of inquiries like that?
yeah, I get quite a few people want me to do one on one. Quite a few. I get a lot of people texting me and asking questions all day and night, and that's fine. It's if I can, don't get mad if I don't answer it immediately. I do have a lot going on, and but I will try. I don't think there's anybody that I've not answered, but it may not be a timely response, but I try to get back to everybody that messages me and asks. I do, request just join the groups. Get in the Facebook groups, get in our groups. Like I say, the militia, Copper Steel Outlaws, DIY Shine and stuff. Any of those pages and Rock Gut, and there's a lot of good pages and a lot of good people out there that what's going on, Randy? That will
Hey,
help.
good evening.
And damn, I'm getting skinny. Let's see. We're gonna need to move my okay. We're moving cameras over here now because we're skinny. All
How you
right,
doing, Mr.
but
Christopher?
Got some imposter syndrome going
damn
on.
it. Let's see. Yeah, that's a little better that way. I like it. Not
Yeah.
too damn big, but join the groups. Get in the militia, Copper Steel Outlaws, DIY Shiny Stuff, Rock Gut, any of those groups. All very informative. A lot of good people in all those groups that'll help. And ask you questions. If it's a specific question, you're not getting any response out of the groups, or you're not getting an answer you like, send me a message and I'll try to do it. But try to ask the groups first, because I do get a lot of messages all day and night, and I'm not able to always get to them in time. I know a lot of times when I see them and they were mashing in at that time, it's like, damn, that's 3 hours ago. I wonder if they're still, doing it. So I try to get back with them. They're like, well, I went ahead and did it this way, and then and we can talk about it. I apologize if I can't get back in a timely manner, but I try.
Trying to put this phone somewhere I can set it up. I'm not used to being in the sitting where I'm sitting tonight. I'm used to being out there in the shed, but I said I'm gonna take it easy tonight and rest. I ate a
Yeah,
whole half a pizza and some
Yeah.
take
box
it
of
easy.
coffee.
I didn't know that was in your wheelhouse.
I went down there and got me one of them meat lovers pizzas on my way in from back from where I was visiting the farmer today,
Yeah.
and I got me a meat lovers pizza while we was sitting there talking. And
Damn, I've never seen you take it easy.
I know I've been trying to take everybody's advice and
Slow down a little bit.
slow down and eat. My problem is I'm not taking time to eat for the past couple months, and I wasn't taking my
Yeah.
shots. So now I'm taking my shots and eating,
Well,
and I'm better. So yeah, I got 11 more acres today of another gentleman that he's turning right now to get ready to plant on Good Friday.
Oh,
what's
wow.
you going to do some of that? I If got anybody down there growing the blue corn, Ohio blue, or
I've got a little bit enough to maybe grow like probably 16 rows by 100 foot long of that, but I've
you
got
know
more. I'm
what
trying
you
to
got
get
to
some
do is
place.
just go buy a bag of corn.
Yep,
Just that's
yep.
seed. I think it's funny. I see people selling packs of seed, and it's like they're getting good money for it. And it's like
It's a
that's
corn
just
kernel.
corn. It's
Yeah,
just corn. You can get a 50-pound bag of that for about $12. And then open it up and sell seeds for $10 a bag. And it's
that's
like
what
So
somebody
do you
told
think
me to do
that
with
make a
I
this Indian
fortune.
corn.
corn seed and plant it in Georgia, and that would be like a Georgia species?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you could.
No,
I don't think you could take an Ohio blue, plant it in Georgia, and call it a Georgia blue. I don't know.
no.
It'd still be an Ohio blue.
Right,
Yeah.
I
right.
think,
Yep.
yeah.
It takes so many generations before it kind of takes on
Right,
what it
or you might
No,
have to crossbreed it and get into, breeding and create your own strain
so my
to
it's
to to
grandkids might
name it.
have their own
it's
species.
like it's like taking a Florida boy and taking him up in Kentucky. He ain't considered a mountain man. He's a flatlander.
Yeah.
Right. His
You
Yeah.
know
grandkids
what I
might
mean?
be mountain men though. Okay.
I can grow up there the rest of my life. I'll always be from Florida. You know.
Yeah,
I
but yeah, he's right. The grandchildren, might be considered that, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I'd say you'd have to kind of work on the strain and make some physical changes to it or some kind of change to
okay.
rename it.
That makes sense.
I know
I'm,
that Alan Bishop, he formulated this Amanda Palmer corn,
Okay.
and he worked on crossbreeding and genetics and quite a few different corns to come up with that combination. And he worked years and named it. But I guess you could, yeah. But yeah, get back to Randy. Plant that blue corn, man.
Cool.
yes,
Have
sir.
you
I'm
guys ever
actually,
played around with yeast? Like trying
Huh?
your own yeast strains?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of wild yeast out there that you can isolate and yeah,
can
Okay.
you
and
do,
name for the area that you found them. You
Right.
could.
Right.
yes,
Cool.
can you do anything with pollen? Everything right now, we got
Yeah.
yellow
Everything.
pollen on everything.
What
I'd
about
say there's
there's an
definitely some yeast in those pollens.
So if I go just dust my car off and then take that dust, anyway, I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go through all
Yeah,
the.
I'm sure there's some
microbial
yeast, definitely yeast attached to them.
Oh, for sure.
It's just
Absolutely,
right
they're
now
everywhere.
we're fixing to have next week in the next 2 weeks is we're fixing to have our strawberry festival.
Oh,
And so there'll
Awesome.
be thousands of people coming in from all over the place down at the fairgrounds. And if y'all look up I think I put it on my page just to y'all can touch it, look on it, and see what's going on in my area because I'm always looking at y'all. If y'all ever want to plan in the future, I've already talked to the what do you call it, the county commissioners,
Yeah.
the sheriff. I went to the chamber of commerce. They just want y'all to get a hold of them. It don't. Well, I think it's very, very, very cheap, like $25 a day to set up a booth and table inside the air conditioner. No, outside is 25, inside is like 60. But
Yeah.
that's cheap to come down and get your name out there, sell your T-shirts, sell your shot glasses, and then leave with several truckloads of strawberries.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Us, Mark and him were supposed to have some kind of festival going on down there in Alfredo and all of them, but
It
uh,
it's
I
still
don't.
going on. Yeah, I just
It's a work in process. I know Mark's trying to get a lot of things done, and it's like pulling teeth to get anybody from the cities to answer him
yes, sir.
and to get up with Alfredo and everybody else, and it's tough, setting these festivals up. It's not easy. If it's easy, everybody'd be doing it.
I
But
actually
there's a
called
lot of
that
work
number. She
involved.
hadn't called me back yet.
Where is it, Bartow or somewhere?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's another one going on. But yes, sir. That Bartow one I called a couple of days ago because he had Mark had mentioned it coming up. It was a little bit short notice, but it's not too far from us. And I said, yeah, I'll go as a spectator. I don't have enough
Right.
time to set up a booth, but next year I'll be more than glad to. But I will go as a spectator this year. And Jay said he
The
would go.
first annual one is never good anyway. I mean, they're always slow and just getting established. They're just figuring out,
Ye-
how to walk. It's all baby steps. They're just figuring out everything. So, it's never first annual. Anything's never good. It's always a learning process. But
Yeah.
also being there from the very first one on, kind of makes you OG and you
Yeah.
know so you can say you've been to every festival and you're there for the first one and meet a lot of the people that put it on and that helps a lot too. Make a lot of contacts like that. And
Yes, sir.
so
We're
definitely,
also trying to get, there's a lot of my friends like y'all are up north. So far, there's what me, Mark,
You're
Roy, I think Jay Newsom, and maybe I know there's hundreds. I can't remember all their names. Y'all forgive me. I'm probably friends with you and going,
yeah, I'm
asshole,
terrible about that. I
asshole.
wouldn't
You,
even.
I can't believe you forgot my name. But I'm trying to, since I have so much property and I'm in the neutral Florida. I'm thinking about having a Florida. If you're from Florida and you're a shiner, let's all get together and let's see what dates everybody can get together, and
Right.
let's have a little, even if it's just a 1 day thing, a meet and greet somewhere. We can have it on my property, or I'll go rent the fairgrounds and we can do it there. But I
Well,
would
I mean,
love to
if you
have a
got
smooth
land,
sailing
just
system.
just
Yeah,
just have a camp. Everybody come camp. Bring your campers. Bring your tents.
yeah.
And come. We're gonna do a weekend thing, and we're gonna rope it off. We're gonna have a little nudist colony, and all just get naked and shine. And oh wait, maybe we shouldn't
it,
go
hey, that
that far.
if y'all want to run around naked, run around naked because there's
Yeah,
386 acres and you're just going to get pointed out and laugh. That's the only thing that's going to happen.
yeah,
But
can
yeah, we're
that.
trying to do something like that in the future. Set some things up in Florida. Since y'all have
yeah.
welcomed me into y'all's group, I'm trying to get the local Florida shiners together so we can bring more attention. Honestly, guys, I think we have a pretty good chance of getting this on a ballot to make it legal.
I'd love that.
Well, I mean,
That's my goal.
getting it on the ballot is one thing, but getting the damn, all the politicians on you on. I know it's like in Florida.
Yeah.
They got the medicinal marijuana thing down there going, but
Mhm.
it's kind of like my state. They're kind of dragging their heels on it. And how hard is it to get a dispensary down there? And how many dispensaries are even open at this point down there?
Yeah.
Are there a
There's
lot of dispensaries there yet, Randy?
Lord, yes, sir. There's a marijuana dispensary in Palaca that's supposed to be the biggest. Now I haven't seen it, but there's yes, sir. There's a lot of dispensaries. There's Curl Leafs, True Leafs everywhere.
Right,
For legal. Now you can buy
right,
you can walk into any of these what I call red dot handyways, forgive my French, but the handyways, and they've got that fake stuff. Y'all stay away from that. Please don't.
right.
Please don't.
Yeah,
That's
Please
that's
don't buy that stuff.
fun.
yeah.
Please don't. You know somebody out there that grows in their backyard. I'd rather smoke something I don't know nothing about from somebody's backyard than I would behind that cash register.
For sure.
Yeah.
Except True Leaf and all that. But the cops around here told me just yesterday. I give a court to two deputies and a detective that I know personally that I grew up
Right, right,
with
right.
that told me, Randy, we know you've been doing it. We know you don't ask for it. You ain't selling it. As he said this, is quote this, as long as you're not out there prostituting it, shaking out of both legs, asking for money for it, we don't care.
Right. That's
You're
right.
doing it. You're doing it the proper way.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier, on the show. There's a lot of
Yeah,
cops out there that like to drink shine. We
they
had some.
love it.
I've been to some festivals, and the cops, sit there and talk to me. And they're like, "Man, I'd love to have me a jar of that." And I'm like, "Man, I'd love to get you one, but
You're
I'd
scared to
have to
death
put
it's
it
a
somewhere and
setup.
just say, I don't know whose it is, but there's a
Yeah,
jar over there behind that
by
tree,
law, though.
Right, right. They're
But
more
yeah,
worried about
I
the.
grew up with some, some old boys that's in law enforcement too, and I'm sure they'd like to, have some. And
They
I'm
do.
pro blue, man. A lot of these guys are true outlaws, and they hate the cops. But I'm not that way at all, man. You know, I'm
And
not a hypocrite.
no, no, a
I'm
lot of
not
people.
going to sit here and talk what a badass I am. But when somebody starts breaking in my house, and
Right.
I call the coroner first and the cop second, and but I'll still call them and let them know that they're going to need to come pick up a body and I guess fill out a report.
That's a that's a true man protecting what he owns.
Yep.
I like to
And
think that a lot of cops became cops because they felt like they could fight the system from within the system.
Right. And
uh,
to do good, and to rid the streets of the fentanyl and the true crime, not pick on a bunch of people that want to grow their own weed or make their own shine,
they
Right.
don't they don't
There's
even
no
care
victim in
about that,
that.
man, sir. They don't care about that at all. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. They do
most of them
care,
don't. Yeah,
but
most of them don't. But there's always that one, that
yeah,
ruins it for everybody.
Yeah.
yeah. But around here, everybody knows. Not. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Everybody cares enough. Nobody wants to step on nobody's toes, so they don't go pushing it. We don't go peddling it.
Right.
You come to the house. If you want a jar, if I don't know you, of course, I ain't gonna just say yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ain't stupid. But yeah, just my friends. I deal with 5 people.
Mm.
And those 5 people know people, and that's all I need to deal with, and that's
Right.
enough. But I'm trying my hardest to put this on the back burner and keep up with the hydro dipping. And my impeller got stuck. My thermostat went out. So I'm having a little bit of difficulties. I'm working on that. Plus, right now is all the farmers. I put the word out months ago, and now all of them are contacting me. So I got to go look at land, meet them, talk with them, agree, do this. And fertilizer is almost $600 a ton.
Wow.
Scully's been asking damn gone quick. I'm sorry
No, go
for
for it.
everybody in the chat. I haven't been
I've been running
paying
my mouth. I'm
attention.
keeping you from that.
I haven't been paying attention. I'm horrible about that, man. My mind gets drifting off, and I start thinking about shit, and I don't pay attention when I
Yep.
need to be. Let's see what we got going on here.
Same way.
Is it is it okay to store shine in copper container long term? Um, as far as damage to the copper itself, I know that it'll probably might oxidize it at a little bit higher of a rate. I do know that it does the same. I would say glass or stainless might be better. I would say back set or anything acidic, definitely, you wouldn't want that in there, being acidic. But I'm not sure about pulling copper ions out or
I'd be
any issues
scared.
like that. I don't think it would be an issue as far as pulling metals off or ions of the metal off. But
Medicinally,
um,
right?
huh?
I'm sorry. I'm coughing. I had to take my medicine.
Yeah, I don't know, Jonathan. I would say, I would say it'd be okay, but long term, I would probably be more comfortable in a stainless or a glass, of course. Um, but
I hate to say,
it'd be an interesting experiment, man. Get a small little thing of copper, a small jar, and a small stainless, all about the same size, and put some shine in each of them. Let them sit a year and make a pretty good little experiment out of it, brother.
Yeah.
But I would say that they all three would be pretty safe to work. I'd say it'd be fine.
out of all the woods, I've been working with woodworking, doing woodworking since I was 9 years old, and all that kind of stuff. And I never really thought about how much wood changes the flavor and the looks of things
Oh
until
yeah,
I got into moonshine, and I would not believe how many pallet boards, pine boards, oak boards, cedar boards, whatever kind of board you can think of that we've made stuff with. It never hit my mind that that's how they made alcohol. Was
Yeah. Yeah.
the yeah. And today I went and picked up. I took a barrel. I went and bought me a half gallon with Jack Daniels barrel, and I know some people are gonna say yes and some people are gonna say no, but it's worked because that's what I did 3 years ago, and according to the people who's tasted my whiskey, it's pretty good. I went and bought a $30 barrel, y'all, at Lowe's. It says now it had a sticker on it that said Jack Daniels. I don't know, but
Okay.
I
Half
took
barrel.
it apart. I took it apart and cut it on a table saw, and the pieces that have two fresh cuts I'm going to char them, and I cut them to size that would fit inside of a 1 gallon jug so I can do different batches with different woods.
All right, brother. One thing, don't ever buy a big full size barrel and pay that price just to get staves.
Well,
Um, Up
half a
here in
barrel.
Kentucky, man, I can get you used barrels that are charred, ready. The staves sell like a
Uh,
buck a piece, and you can just chop those up. It's so much cheaper.
For the
My
whole.
neighbor, there's a lot of people up here that do. They get them and they build furniture and
yes, sir.
and seats, bar seats, bars. I mean, they so much many things they make. Wall plaques, all kinds. He makes all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
But he gives me all his little leftover small ones, and yeah, you can get the used barrels that are busted or broken for
Uh-huh.
nothing. For that aren't usable for liquor anymore. For I mean, next to nothing, man. And use those and chop those up. I wouldn't buy a good barrel for that. That's an awful expensive route to go. So.
Well, it was $30 for a half a barrel, but my neighbor,
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, that's good. Those are perfect use. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yes, that's what I did.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
okay. Oh, I thought you was paying like expensive money for a big
No,
full size barrel. I was like, wow.
I
Yeah,
bought one.
those are perfect for that.
Yeah, and some of them they get busted, and they'll like he. Okay, we bought this one for $15 because the ring busted. Somebody moved it, and the ring slid down. The little nails come
Right.
out.
Hmm.
We got it for $15. Call Fort Buddy's professional cabinet shop and get it cut up into a little bit less than an inch, so to fit
Yeah.
inside. Bought some of those methanol 1.5 gallon jugs from the pop dispensary that they were throwing away. They cannot sell them, but he says I don't care if you go in the dumpster. There was 500 gallon and a half. What do you call it? The dark black brown colored glass. There's nothing wrong with them. There was ethanol in them. So I went and got four
Cool.
cases and come home and rinse them out, and that's what I'm gonna age some liquor in. I'm gonna
Yeah,
try it.
yeah.
I'm gonna try
Yeah,
it.
glass is a great thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Jonathan was asking if I don't know about copper. I would say it would be okay. I don't know if it would leach some of the copper off. But I doubt copper ions would come off that readily in the liquor. But
Uh-huh.
it'd be interesting to see how each of them tasted after a year,
But
just based on what they were stored in.
isn't there a drink? What is it? The Moscow Mule is served in a copper drink or a copper.
Yeah, now serving it in that is one thing.
Yeah.
It takes sulfurs out. The
Right.
sulfurs and sulfides will bond to the copper, and it takes those out. That's the main benefit of using, the coppers in your stills and having some kind of mesh or whatever in the vapor path to help remove those sulfides and stuff. So, it would probably, as far as that's concerned, it would probably remove some of those, and change the flavor characteristics, sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad, because some of those flavors, once they estrify over time and stuff and age,
And
That's
they can be
looking.
sweet,
Yeah.
and interesting. Mhm.
Hmm.
Scully, I didn't get the first part of your question. What has more flavor in my opinion? I'm not sure what you're talking about, buddy. Let me know. Um, I don't know if you said that back when I was talking about different blue corns or different corns. So yeah, yeah, I guess it was because Mark was talking about the truckers blend.
Tucker's
Well,
blend.
guys,
I've
Yeah,
heard that name. What is that definition
welcoming
of
in.
Tucker's blend?
I've got to go. Got to get up early.
Is that what they
you
say?
do. Well,
I
thanks
will
for jumping on, brother.
one and look for me in the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah, get on Facebook, man, and join the militia, Copper Steel Outlaws, DIY Shining Stuff, any of those groups, and Rock
I'll,
Gut, any of those, and we'll
collectively.
definitely help get you going. Join the militia and ask any questions you got, man.
I'll do it, man. Thanks for
All
having me.
right, brother. Take it easy, man.
You guys next.
Thank you, sir. Look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, we're on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and then we have a Friday show that's hard. It's hard to
I,
say
I,
where that's going to go.
I never really talk.
Right, right. All
So,
right, man. Well, thanks for jumping in.
Good night, sir.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, I've been stretching myself a little thin here lately.
Yeah, Jimmy Red or Navajo Blue. Yeah, they're going to see quite a bit of difference in the reds and blues. Reds are generally a little more oily, earthy. The blues are tend to be a little more sweet,
Yeah.
and kind of grassy and sweet. So they both make good for combining. That's why I was at. People tend to like the Ohio Blue. Um, as far as that between the Hopi and the Ohio Blue, most people that I've talked to tend to like the Ohio Blue. So, if you got any of that? You growing any of that this year, Randy?
I haven't. I've got some enough to grow like 16 rows, 100 feet long. But I'm actually
Well,
going to
you
buy
can
more later. I
you
just
can
spent a
get
lot
up
of
with
money
Phil
in
Billy or
leasing.
somebody like that. And get you a 50-pound bag's probably like 70, $80.
I can do that.
Maybe I saw somebody advertising some. I think Cyrus had some, and it was like, I don't know if he had Ohio Blue or not, but some
I
of his
need to
there
find
living
out how
corns.
many seed per acre or how many pound per acre of because each seed's kind of different size. So
Right.
sometimes,
Yeah.
if I can find, which I need to do the research on all that anyway. I've got me a notebook and I haven't gotten that far. But I was also curious. Mr. Luke, the agricultural extension officer that I got to come check the corn, sent me some emails where he sent the corn out and had it, verified through or tested at different universities.
Right.
And he was saying that the Blue Ohio might not be good corn to grow in Florida because of the wet nature compared to what the nature it's used to up there. So that
Right.
was the only one he was iffy on and kind of told me to kind of research that one on my own. So I figured I would grow 17 rows and give it an experiment, and
Right.
then that seed would give me enough planting seed to plant next year. I hope
Hmm.
if it makes and all. I'm just going to try it. But yes, sir, I've got right now I've got Indian 216 pounds of Indian corn to plant, 57 pounds of Jimmy Red and Bloody Butcher mix, and then only 14 pounds of True Bloody Butcher. And then I've got 19 to 20 ears of each of these other corns that he said they come from Mexico.
Right.
And one of them's called I'm sorry, root beer and something called root beer and then different kind of, pink, they're pink and white looking, kernels. I can't remember the name of them, but, that one's going to be planted like in a special, not special, a small garden because I don't have
Right.
enough of it.
Well, you got some Oaxacan green and there's Argentine orange that a lot of
I've
people are
heard that.
talking about.
Yes.
Those are a lot of people are talking about.
Okay.
The Oaxacan green seems to be, a lot of
Is
people
that
liking
must
the.
be I'm sorry. That must be the one that looks sort of like an aqua green and
Yeah,
blue.
it's a greenish blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, that's what. Okay, I need to look back through my email list because he's got them all broke down, and but I'm trying to bring it to Florida, guys. That's the only thing I'm doing is trying to see. Well, yeah, I want to grow my own corn and have my own alcohol. That's why I'm calling it alcohol acres.
Well,
And
I'll tell you what,
I'm just
I
hoping it
can't
goes in
stress
Florida.
enough for any young people out there that have land and that their
Yes.
family has or that they have while you're young, go out and start planting fruit trees.
Yep.
If you go out and buy an apple, bring it home, plant those seeds,
I
raise
agree.
them, and start them, get them out there. It takes years for them to develop and get good, but I'm not saying go out and go to an orchard and buy a bunch of trees because they're expensive as shit, $50, $60 a tree. Some of these orchards selling, trees for these fruit and apple trees and peach trees and all this, but just grow your own, man. Start them. You're young, and by the time you in a
Our
few
age.
years, you'll have all the fruit and it brings game in. It's just better for everything, man.
That way,
And
everything's not coming from the grocery store. It's coming from your
yeah, because
backyard,
it's
your grandma.
absolutely, man. It's so hard to do a lot of wines and brandies because fruit's expensive. We live in a time when you can go out and you can buy shit food that's been processed and everything else, and that's cheap. But what's good for you is expensive. So it's kind of backwards. You'd think they'd want what's good for us. And another question I have is, why do we have starving in the United States when we got so much
Yeah.
public land? All they'd have to do is go out there and plant some fruits and vegetables and just allow people to come in there and pick, if you want to, and feed yourself. There's so many neighborhoods that have vacant lots, man. Till it, let people till it up and
Yep.
start a garden,
I
and
mentioned this one time in Jacksonville. I said over in Jacksonville we have such a vet homeless, just a homeless problem. They have two malls over there that are completely empty. Why don't the government or somebody go in there and turn the mall into a sanctuary for people to live?
right.
It's sitting there, empty buildings. Put them to use, and like you said,
Well,
keep some of the things,
but people
plant. I
own those
agree.
buildings though, and they pay taxes and all that. So
Yeah,
I can
there's.
understand them not wanting to do that, but
You're right. I'm
public
thinking of the guy.
land that's owned by the government, public land, you know, why not just start allowing, not necessarily spend tax dollars, but just allow people to go out there and plant fruits and vegetables,
Hmm.
and I guess you'd get a lot of people tilling it up and have to worry about erosion and getting it all littered up and stuff. But you just have to regulate it a little bit. Maybe put a park ranger out there. It's no different than going out and hunting, for your
Yeah.
food. Just why pay, just be able
Or
to plant
just like
trees and
when we pay hunting dues, you have work
yeah. I
days.
mean,
You have work days. You show up for the work days, and you get the work done. And there's rules you have to go by. I think they kind of do that in Jacksonville in certain communities where they have these plots of land and they grow.
right,
There's
little
one
community
lady.
gardens. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That needs to keep going on.
yeah, it definitely does, and it
Yeah.
needs to move up to the government where a lot of these parks that nobody goes to, start
Hmm.
planting some fruit trees on there. What got me to thinking about it is in the news a few years ago, and this one community had this park, and I guess there's fruit trees on it, and people were complaining because people were poor people were going out there picking on the fruit, and it's like,
Oh
why in the
my.
hell do you care? Poor people go out there and pick fruit. Who the hell are you, man? If you don't want it, then don't eat it.
I
But
complain.
I'd
Yeah.
rather see some poor man get it than a damn squirrel or something, or the bees get it. But
Yeah.
let people go out and pick it. And these got some uppity people that want them out there picking the fruit. And it's like, hell, they probably should plant more damn trees for him.
I
You
I
know?
think the ones that went out and the ones that went out and picked the fruit actually see the value of what's at the park. The people who complaining
Yeah.
don't have the see the value of what they have in front of them.
And
They're
they
just
wasn't too damn
complaining.
lazy to where didn't want a handout. They were out there,
Yep.
gathering it themselves. So more power to them. I think that look at all the forest lands and all the I'm not necessarily just parks, but look at all the forest land that we have. Plant more damn nut trees, plant more damn fruit trees.
Persimmons,
And
stuff like that.
yeah, lots of fill every fence line with blackberries and and wild berries and get it going again.
Love it around here. We got so many blackberries and all kind of natural magnolias and persimmons. They're not the real big persimmons; they're the smaller persimmons. But boy, are
Yeah.
they good. And the deer and the coyote. That's where we set up our stands at. When we need food.
That's why, yeah, that's what they do, and
There's a food source.
they make these seedless grapes and seedless watermelons and seedless blackberries and all this stuff where you can't get the seeds out of them and grow your own, and hybrids and stuff that won't grow, and
when when we go to see Patrick, he says he has real banana trees, and I said, "Do they have seeds in them?" He says, "Yes." I said, "All right," because I'm gonna dehydrate some, and I hope to bring back and I know what I want to say is I would love to get a banana seed and grow something
Yeah,
that come from somewhere else. I know you're not supposed to, so a banana seed, I don't think they'll be able to find that one seed if I put it in the right spot.
yeah. Well, I mean, you can buy the banana trees here. They're not too expensive.
Yes, sir. I'm just picking. I'm
I
just
know, but I mean, I'm not sure. I know that a lot of people use bananas to put seeds in to feed their seed while it germinates and stuff. But
true. Yeah, it gives it potassium. Yep.
yeah,
We had fleas in somebody's house one day, and I read on Facebook where if you take a banana peel and expose the white part and put it underneath your furniture, that the fleas will go to it, and in an hour go back and check it, and it'll tell you if you got fleas or not. And the ones that did eat it, it does something to them.
yeah. All I have to do is wear white socks and walk around my house. It'd be all over me in the socks, man.
But
I remember when I was appraising the houses one time down in Richmond, it was the worst. I mean, I've been around pets and a little flea here and there and all, no big deal. But I went in this vacant house down in Madison County and I had on white pants and I wasn't paying a bit of damn attention. I was just walking through, noting all the physical characteristics, draw my floor plan and everything. And I walked outside and I looked down at something on the ground and I noticed my pants and it looked like somebody had sprinkled my with pepper. I was like, what the? And I looked and it was fleas, man. I was freaking covered in fleas.
and you can't drop
And
your doors because you're probably in somebody's
no,
neighborhood.
and I couldn't get in the car. I couldn't get in the car either because I didn't want to get in there. So I went into the damn garage and took my pants off and shook them, and did
I ain't
that. And
laughing
then
at you. I'm
I
laughing
made a
with you.
note, that this house, it needs fumigating bad, and I made it, condition of the appraisal that needs to send a exterminator here. And then, of course, they send me a reply. Well, we sent someone there and they didn't find any fleas. And it's like, well, if they didn't, they're either lying or it's because every fucking one of them got on me in them white pants and I got them all out of there. But I mean, man, I was covered in them. I've never seen so many fleas, man. Oh God, it was bad, and they hadn't been biting me or eating me up, but I'm itching just thinking about it now. But yeah, they
Need
was
to remember
covered.
that.
It was. Yeah, I'll never forget that.
Sound like your head is so stopped up. You
It
miserable, ain't
is,
you?
man. I've been so fucking
God.
sick for the last 2 weeks. It wasn't too bad though. After going through the migraine, it made me reflect back on the influenza, and I mean, every ache, joint in my body ached. I mean, my ankles hurt going up and down the steps, and just ached in every joint. And I thought that was bad until I got migraine 4 or 5 days ago, man. And I've been dealing with that for the last 5 days. And I probably last night I got some real good rest, and today I didn't have a migraine first day in 5 that I didn't have that headache, and I feel so
I
much
think.
better now. I'm just dealing with the flu now. It's not so bad.
Yes, sir. I don't like taking pills, medication, but they've been giving me something called Culepta during the day, and what's the other stuff I take at night? It's just for migraines, and it doesn't have
Yeah.
any side effects or anything. But according to my doctor, the 2 bottles is $1,500 is what my
Wow.
insurance is paying for that Culepta and that I can't remember the name of the other one, but I've got more bottles. I know it's not illegal. It's legal to give you. Anyway, I wish I could give you what I got because it helps.
Yeah. Well, my doctor and I, we went through the gamut of all the
Okay.
different migraine. There's a lot of different
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the ones we tried that come
You
to
try
mind. There's
Culepta?
one. What was it?
Culepta?
That doesn't ring a bell.
Let me hop down, Naya. Down, girl.
Trying to think of this one that he gave me. I took one and I slept for literally 2 days.
Go
I
ahead.
slept for 2 freaking days, man. I was knocked out. No, I'm not trying that. But I was knocked out for 2 freaking days. And I'm trying to think of the name of it because I looked it up and everybody said, yeah. And it's basically it's a medicine for people that have seizures and stuff
Mm-hmm.
because they
Oh,
think
Lord.
that migraines may be actually
From the brain.
yeah, in the brain seizure.
Yeah.
And mine's from nerve damage in my neck. So it's kind of a little bit different. But we went through all the different migraine, things, and that's kind of part of the pain management you have to try to eliminate. And he was giving me
New Dexter.
uh vi- Vicodin, and I, it was hydroc hydrocodone and aspirin, and then we
Yeah, I
switched
was
to a Vicaprofen, which is a ibuprofen in that pain
ibuprofen.
med.
Had that
And
one
the
too.
ibuprofen seemed to work a little better because it reduced the swelling and it helped. So we kind of stuck with that. And that seems to be the Vicaprofen. It seems to be what works the best.
If you
But
need
he
the
gave me some
chunks,
stronger stuff, and it just made me sick. And
yeah,
some of the strong pain meds,
I got off that, sir.
yeah,
I
they
got off
make me.
all that. That and the gabapentin and those two things you talked about with the
Yeah,
codeine with the Tylenol
yeah,
in it and all
yeah,
that. Yeah, I couldn't. A lot of people like it and get used to it. The gabapentin, God bless Scully. I know what you're going through, brother, being on that gabapentin that many times a day.
yeah.
R, the RSO and the tinctures help got me off the that. But
R-
anyway,
I, I think, yeah, Roger takes that Gabby Pitton too, has to take it. But for me, um, I guess where it's not a chronic, constant thing, it's something that comes and goes. Um, it's easier to deal with, for like a pain med. Because if it were a pain med, I just couldn't take them all the time, or I'd be a mess. But I guess where I just take it for, you know, like 1 week. Like this was like 5 days. They generally come and they last for 4 or 5 days, and then they'll go away. Sometimes a couple few days, but
maybe
it's
tried
like
elevating
every
it.
every couple few months. So it's just not that constant. Thank God it's not that constant pain. There are some things I can do that kind of bring it on. Working overhead, where I got my neck
Yeah,
stretched and
yeah,
working overhead,
yes,
gets
sir.
my neck in a certain way where it affects that nerve that's damaged, and that'll bring them on. And weather, of course, weather, will help, will bring them
Uh,
on too. But
What about a hot tub? Hot tub makes me feel like a champion. Guess what everybody's
hot
they call it?
showers, yeah, I've got a whirlpool tub,
Okay.
but it's a big one, and god damn, I've got two water heaters, and it takes them both to fill it up, man. And I start thinking about all them dollars down too damn tight to do. I can't run two
Well,
water heaters, man. That's $50 a month running two of them,
I tell
and
you,
I
wouldn't
just
$50 make you feel better right now if it was hot and rainy? You went and jumped in it and got in the
I
bed, and woke up tomorrow morning feeling better.
well, I mean, I use the heat pads. Those work good too. I just put them on my pillow, and I'll use a heat pad. And
Uh,
and Ann's got me one of these little things I can put around my neck. If I'm not home, and it's like battery powered, and it keep my neck warm, and that helped too if I was on the go or away from home. Um,
I've
but
actually
it's
put a horse
it's
liniment back
it's
there on mine.
but yeah, it's not sinus induced. No, it's nerve damage. It's from car
Okay.
wrecks, motorcycle wrecks, football,
Right.
boxing, everything else I did in my past to mess my
Wow.
neck up. But I had some pretty bad accidents, car wrecks and stuff
Yes.
that probably.
I've been known to use horse liniment back there because it helps the circulation. And, the more lactic acid you can get out of your blood, the better you feel. And the
Yeah,
more circulation. Because with that, anyway, the nerve damage in my neck and restless leg neuropathy, like sitting down, my feet hurt, tingling to come back in. And I take
yeah,
that re-equip at night. But mashing, talking about moonshining again. I just got through making that mountain brandy, so I put all my grains and all my that leftover dunder together, and that was a
yeah.
very unique, very very good blend. Now I know what you guys were talking so much about. That is
Yeah, it's
absolutely
interesting.
delicious.
Mixing that corn liquor with some fruits and stuff. It's definitely different. And
It's like
some it's
taking
good,
cake
some it's
batters.
not so good, but it's some good.
There was a young guy or somebody new tonight asking about a 3 grain, or somebody wanted to do a 3 grain. Honestly, a lot of people look down on chicken feed, but Purina makes a 100% cracked corn, real whole barley, and real whole wheat, and it's 28 dollars for 32 or 35 pound bag.
Yeah.
and it is absolutely delicious. Grind it, throw it in there, and it's a really good starter. It's not that expensive. They're 2 to 1. You should be happy with it. I did.
Has it been any of the grains malted before or not? Probably
I
not.
don't think no, sir. It's just plain cracked corn on the
Yeah.
ingredients. The first thing it says is cracked
I've
corn,
done.
then barley
Hey,
and
I've
wheat.
done
That's
some of
all it
those
is.
bird seed. I've done a bird seed bourbon before. I've
Yeah.
experimented with the grains
Well,
doing that, and
they call it chicken feed, and some people go, I don't want to, a chicken feed mash. But for the cost, you're buying corn, you're
right,
buying whole barley, you're buying whole wheat. You get all this in one bag, and I think
right,
it's mixed equally because I could look at the
right.
grain and
And
kind of tell.
they don't put anything else in there. Any
Nothing
yeah.
else. Nothing
Okay.
else. Y'all, for a good, honest opinion, it's Purina, and it's just those three things. And if you happen to damage a bag at Tractor Supply, they'll knock $5 off. Hint, hint. So uh, it's a good starter grain. And yeah, I ain't trying to shut nobody down from buying 50 pounds of real barley from some store or whole wheat. I was going to ask y'all. The grain store the other day had whole wheat by the bag, a big old, like a 80-pound bag, and
Mhm.
it was called whole wheat.
Right.
That's new. That's just whole wheat in the
It's a
that
wheat
has,
berry. It's a wheat berry. It's the berry. Yeah.
it looks like a long grain because that means
Yeah.
it hasn't been malted, hasn't been broken, hasn't
No,
been.
no.
It's just been
Yeah, they call them wheat berries. That's a wheat berry.
okay. Wheat berry. So you would malt. I could malt that or
You
just
can
grind
malt
it.
it
Correct.
or grind it, either one. Yes, sir.
Okay. Because that's what's in
Yeah, I
the
get them.
same wheats in the 3 gram.
I pay $12 for a 50-pound bag here.
$12 for a 50-pound bag. Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yep, that's off a farmer here that grows it, and he has it very limited. I can't remember who it was. I think Jeff
Sure,
Singleton or somebody was trying to
it's a good
uh,
price for you.
get a good on it, and they had already sold out their allotment for this year. They only they do it in the winter,
Sure.
so it's the best time to catch them is around September, October, and find out when they plan on
Does
cutting
the
wheat.
time does the time of the year matter when us people like me are buying grain? Does it matter that it was been in a silo 6 months ago and got down to me, or should I? You
It's
know what I
better to
mean?
get
Is
it
that
fresh. The fresher you can
yeah,
get, the better. That's why I say I tell people never buy cracked corn
yeah, crack, yeah,
unless you're just ready to run it right now. Never buy it. Never buy it.
yeah. It's hard on my grinder though.
Get whole kernel.
Yeah,
If you get that whole kernel, that stuff it'll maintain its freshness a long time.
because it's
You
holding it
know,
inside the grain, isn't it?
right
And
inside
once it's
that husk is
plus,
really thick, hard, and it protects that and keeps that freshness in. Once it's cracked, it starts oxidizing, and it's
yeah,
kind of like coffee. You want the
I got
whole
you.
bean ground, or you want something that's been ground a year ago that's been sitting around, and
Yeah,
there's a night and day difference in flavor, and definitely best to get you whole grain corn and then crack it or mill it down. And I can't. If you're serious about it, you got to get a mill.
you ain't
I
kidding.
kicked myself for
You
not
ain't
getting that
kidding.
grinder a long time ago, man.
Thank you.
Because it definitely makes things a lot easier on you. You can go through bags a lot quicker with that than
It's so
back in the
much
old
less
days doing it a
waste.
blender full at a time. Shit,
I used
it's
an old
true.
hand grinder mounted to
Yeah, yeah. I mean, those
you know,
work good too.
yeah, but damn,
I got a friend of mine that's got one of them old A&P coffee grinders. An old
man,
cast iron, electric coffee grinder used to be in the store. Man, he
yeah,
grinds the
that
shit out of
shit
stuff
out.
with it, and you can adjust the size of the grind, with
Mm-hmm.
that as well, and
I've
that works
taken
sure
several
well.
handles off, put drills on them, so I wouldn't have to hand crank it. You don't know how many of them things I went through, but when I spent that $129 for whatever it is I bought, I didn't buy
Yeah,
the silver. What do you call it? The thing that you put on last with the collar that you pour the corn into the funnel. I didn't buy that with it, and I use a milk jug,
yeah,
but
you any
I'm
kind
gonna
of
get it.
hopper. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't buy my hopper. I'm gonna get one, but man, I tell you all that saves so much. You'll be glad you did. Christmas is coming up. Your birthday.
heck
You
yeah.
owe it. You owe it to yourself. Buy it to you from you. You'll thank
Yeah,
yourself.
Black
You'll thank
Friday.
yourself.
I got mine on Black Friday, and it was 167 or something like that. and it's
Hell yeah.
normally like a
Yep.
239, 49, something like that. I got like 30, 40% off on it. It was a good deal.
I've run enough liquor in it. If I was to go out there right now and it didn't work, I would not complain.
Yep.
I mean, how many I'm running? I've been running 200 pounds a week for 7 months. That's a lot of damn. Y'all do the math.
Yep.
So, but
Adds up, man.
that's what's kind of supported me and Hydro Man and kept us from going to the food bank. I mean, come on.
Yep.
So, and it honestly, the Shining, y'all helped me. Shining was my therapy. Shining was my speech
Yeah,
therapy.
good.
Shining
You
was
know,
my everything.
I was thinking the same thing the other day. I was watching somebody had a little video and they were sitting there polishing, polishing some steel, a steel they were building and did a little polishing on it and just sitting there polishing away. And I'm like, man, that's good. That's good for the mind to sit there because I guarantee you, they were thinking about a lot of things other than polishing that copper while they were sitting there doing that, man. That
Yeah.
kind of work, your mind kind of wanders. You get a chance to think about a lot of things, and and it's good for your head to be able to get away and do your hobby and get your
Mhm.
mind and
That's all it is, the
and
hobby.
get into
Sometimes you,
something like that.
sometimes life you can't see the forest for all the trees in the way.
Hmm.
And Shining kind of
Well, definitely, Mark. If you got a line on some wheat, you got to get it.
for real.
End of spring, yeah. Um, some farmers grow it as a cover crop, so
Mhm.
that you'll be able to get it pretty cheap. They'll go through and cut it down. Mine, man, they clean it up and it's good and
Oh, man.
clean. It's just berries. It's good and clean. It's bagged up, 50-pound bags, and $12. I mean, I feel guilty every time I go there and buy it because I'm
I,
getting so much for so little, and it's like, man,
I can't believe
yeah.
I just remembered. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I just remembered when I was over at the farm today, the man on the tractor was cultivating, and I bought. He give me. I'm sorry. He gave me uh, 2 bunches of mustard and 2 bunches of collards, and I got them sitting in the back of the truck, and it just rained, and I was worried
Uh,
about it, but now I'm not because it's cool and it doesn't rain on them. We grow collard greens and
yeah,
mustard around here like crazy. You guys like collards and mustards?
hell yeah,
Man, y'all come down here. We sure
hell
enough got
man,
them. How now? You're in what state again? I keep forgetting where you're
Kentucky.
at. Kentucky. Okay.
Yep.
So when we come up there for which one is that? Not farm to bottle, but
Now we've got
Maggie Valley.
Beattyville. No, that's North Carolina. We got Beattyville that Donnie and Teresa put on. That's pretty good. And then there's a bunch of bourbon festivals here. There's of course in Kentucky, man. We got so many bourbon festivals
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and I mean we've got enough legal moonshine makers here that we've got the bourbon trail for the legal bourbon distillers, and we got so many legal moonshine distillers here now. We got the moonshine trail, and that's mostly in eastern Kentucky. So there's a lot of a lot of legal shine being made in eastern Kentucky, and those guys, I don't know. I guess they're all busy as shit. I don't see many of them in the Facebook groups and stuff, but there's so many groups and so many different groups and cliques of people and different groups and stuff. It's hard, but I'd like to meet some of them.
definitely
K.
coming up there.
Busy Green, what's up, brother? Is
I'm
the
going up there.
water chiller? Here we got a good question here.
I'm
Is
definitely
a
going.
water chiller worth it? I got tired of ice and freezing 2 liters. Switched to
Hell
my
yeah.
tap water, but that's running up a water bill. Yes, sir, it will. Um, First thing I'd recommend is getting a tote. They're like 40, $50.
Or
They got
cooler.
the metal frame with the big plastic.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
generally like 250 to 320 gallons, somewhere in that range. You give them different sizes. A lot of them will have a drain at the bottom of them, but that's a pretty good sized reservoir, And going on, Dan. you can use that and have a pretty good reservoir. I don't know how much you're running. If you're running a 10, 20 gallon still, keep one of those pretty much cool would be pretty easy for a
Pump,
small
fountain pump.
runs. But if you're running a bigger steel, it's going to, of course, take more. Yeah, use a palm pump. Um, One thing you have around the groups and stuff, and I don't know if you've been around a while. I know you're coming in off YouTube. Get on Facebook and join some of our groups. Join the Moonshine Militia and Copper Steel Outlaws, DIY shine and stuff. And in those, we talk about people converting window unit air conditioners.
Currently using
Um,
one now.
yeah, they you convert a window unit air conditioner. You just kind of flip that coil over, and instead of you just immerse it in the water, you take the fan out. You don't need the fan anymore blowing
Right,
over it,
right.
and immerse that down in the water, and you can use that as a chiller. And
Works
those
great.
seem to work pretty well. You can put them in a big cooler if you got a real big cooler, or you can make something to hold it in, or you could use that big tote and uh, put your coil down in that big tote and keep it circulating, and that those work pretty damn well, to be honest with you. And of course, if you know
Yeah.
HVAC or you got somebody that knows, you can get refrigerator coils or freezer coils or ice maker coils, and there's just so many compressors, and use those to keep you. Good night, Lisa.
Good night, Miss Lisa. That's all I
Yeah,
did
they
was
getting a big winter storm up there. Minnesota was getting a bunch of snow. I found out earlier,
wow.
and I guess it's headed your way towards the end of
Lord
the
have
week.
mercy.
Yeah, it's going to be all over you.
Boy, the Carolinas are catching hell between the tornado, the
The
hurricane, the floods, the
fires and the
fires.
floods.
Oh
Man.
my! Now, talking about the chiller,
East,
yes, all I did was take a little old cheap $80 air conditioner, took the screws off the case, took the screw off the blue fan, took it off, and just bend the copper, slowly bend it down.
yep.
I put it on one of those. It's a bar stool that's adjustable. You mash the foot and it goes down hydraulically. I just
Right, right.
lowered it straight into my igloo cooler and put a pond pump in it right next to my
Yep,
condenser, and there you go. And keep it at 67 to 69 degrees ahead of
yep,
time, and you should be fine. And you don't have to. You can set the thermostat. You can turn it off. It don't make a lot of noise. You don't have to run it continuously. If you do,
right.
it's going to freeze up on you and cause some problems. So
Well,
don't go no lower
if you can situate your return water to where
on the
you're getting the freeze
opposites.
ups and stuff, and try to have your warm water drop in there, it'll help keeping you
Yep,
from freezing up and help
makes
regulate it. But
sense.
yeah, absolutely. And we call them hillbilly chillers,
Yep.
and you can go that route. And it works pretty well. Get
And
you a decent window unit. You can get them used and
I put
pretty cheap, but get a decent BTU one, depending on, of course, the size of your reservoir. But
yeah.
yeah, they work real well.
And my cooler has a drain, so I just took the clear hose from the pond pump and stuck it
Yep,
in the drain of the cooler. Then another hose from the drain to my condenser. And at my condenser,
right,
I put a threaded water hose, and I put a Y on there. That way, if I need to drain that, I can turn the other Y and drain it
right.
without ruining turning my stuff off. I need to
Yep, good
adding a
idea.
Y to it, so it would help as a redneck one. Sorry, my words aren't coming out right. I'm gonna
Yeah, yeah, it was real windy here too, Mark. We didn't get the storms much. We got some rain and a lot of wind, and
a lot of
and it
wind.
cooled off a lot, which is what triggered my head. I saw this coming 5 days ago, man, with my neck, and it's starting
Get
to get a little
stepped up.
tight. So hopefully they're gone.
It was so windy here. When you open your door, it damn near snatch it out of your hand. Like an umbrella.
Yep.
It was
Yeah,
windy. I had
it
to
was
put a
pretty
boat
windy
speaker
here.
in today. My buddy's got a bass boat, and I put a
The jockey box.
two speakers and a radio in it today. Wired it up.
All right, Dan, you gonna have to educate me. What the hell's a jockey box? I don't know what the fuck
Chalky
you're talking
box,
about, man.
chalky box. I can't see the comments. Hey,
Jockey box.
you do y'all have bluegill and specks?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh my, then the specs are in right now. Oh my God, they're tearing them up down here. That's where we're
yeah.
going the next couple of days.
I like crappie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn. Is anybody? I've learned. I'm sorry, my grandpa told me about it, and I forgot about it. But there's a certain lily or a certain lake aquatic plant that if you break the top off, it's hollow, and you go down there, there's a worm. Can anybody tell me the name of that plant or worm? They say that's the best fishing bait for what we're doing right now, and I can't remember the
Hmm.
name to tell my buddy. I know the plant when I see it, but I don't remember the name of it.
Interesting. I don't know.
Okay,
All right, Dan.
that's
What's the jockey box? Tell me, man. Or
chalky box.
text me, man. Talk to me.
Chalky box. Is that what he says, Santa? Chalky?
Jockey box, like
A
a horse
jockey box.
jockey.
That's got something to do with a chiller.
Yeah, we had pretty high winds through here, Mark, and the temperatures dropped pretty good. The rains, we got some rain, but it wasn't like stormy, heavy, downpour kind of rain through where right here specifically. But I think most of that went a little bit north of us. But yeah, it's a big cold front.
We got a rain through tonight. It woke me up. It was raining so hard it woke
Dan,
me up.
if I could go make me.
You got several screens above you?
No, it's just this one here. Oh, I see what he's talking about. Jockey box that they use for lots of faucets for beers and stuff. I see what he's talking about now. I
Awesome.
didn't know they called that a jockey box.
You mean well, like if
Learn
you go up
something new
to a
every day.
bar and there's several things behind it, like six or
Well, have you
seven?
ever seen those coolers that they pack with ice, and then they got all kinds of different,
Oh,
faucets
yeah.
mounted to them to,
I'm with you
that's
now.
they call that a jockey box. Yeah, I didn't know that's what that was called. All
Me
right,
neither.
that's typing right there, Dan.
Huh.
Yeah, crappie and walleye are my two favorite
I ain't never
fish
caught a
to eat.
walleye.
Oh my goodness. Have you
I've
ever eaten
seen y'all.
walleye?
No, sir.
Oh man.
I haven't.
You'll not put I think that's probably the best tasting fish maybe there is. Crappie's
Ooh,
good, walleye's good. I like the real white, delicate, light,
me.
flaky meat that's not real
Yeah.
fishy tasting.
Me too. I'm glad to hear another man admit that.
I
Yep.
don't like a lot like trout, real oily, fishy
Uh-uh.
fish.
Nope. Nope.
Uh,
Sorry, I
I
just
like the
don't like it. It may be good for me, but I can't get it past my taste bud.
yeah. I used to like it all until I got served some bad catfish,
Uh-oh.
and I was
Wow.
sick for oh my,
They
I
let it
was
get
throwing
hot.
up, man. It was
Yeah.
bad, bad, bad. I was sick, and ever since then, man, it's I'm not real good with the fishy fish, and I
You,
always
do y'all
that
have
comes.
access to gator meat up there?
Oh, I've had gator meat. Yeah, I love gator bites.
I can get all the
Actually, like
gator
I
meat
had
you
some
want
down there at the
possible.
Arkansas Festival this last year that was damn good. They were hot, and man, they were so good.
I think Mr. James was at an event, a beast feast last week or week before, and he was cooking. That's what reminded me.
Aubrey,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
I'm going down this week to meet Mr. Bobby Bass and Patrick Williams. They're Florida
cool,
wild.
cool.
They're nuisance gator trapper hunters for Florida. This area.
Right,
If
right.
you look up Lake Loclusa, and I'm
Do
going
they
down there.
hunt the snakes down there too?
They're mostly gator hunters if they run across some, but they take people like you out to get your fill your
Oh, I
tag.
see.
But they also do it on the side. And they also have a blueberry farm, and they hunt gators for the hide and the meat, and that's how I got hooked up with them when I was a kid, just driving the boat. So
No, it doesn't taste like mackerel. No, no,
uh,
it's a real
what?
light, delicate,
I'll trade
kind
you
of
some alligator
cod.
meat for some of
Cod.
that.
It's kind of like I'm talking about the walleye. It's kind of like a coddish. Cod's a real light, delicate, flaky fish. There's several. I like
Oh,
cod real well, but I just can't stand the real fishy fish, real strong fish flavored anymore
me
after
neither.
that.
Somebody told me to stay away from tilapia. I can't remember why.
Tilapia, it depends on how they're grown. I know that
Uh,
after hearing how a lot of these farms raise them,
that's what it
they're
was.
actually some of these farms are actually water
Sure.
treatment plants, and they're using the tilapia to break down the solids, which is basically
Oh,
turds,
that's why.
and
That's what it
and
was.
they're legally selling these tilapia to the food market once they get big.
Unbelievable. So the
Yeah,
secret
and
guy.
it's like
That's why nobody's eating tilapia in Bradford
yeah,
County.
and those sway, those little catfish that it's got a sweet meat to it. They call them quay or sway or whatever. Those pretty much are being raised the same way, so I can't stomach those either. But
That big old stainless steel tank I got. That's what I've been running big 60 on is my creek. And
yeah,
it holds 800 gallons. Somebody told me the other day I need to put one of those algae eaters in there,
yeah,
and he'd probably look like a shark in a year.
little plecostomus is what they call them.
Yeah,
Plecostomus.
that's the word. Yes,
Yep,
sir.
they're good.
Yes. I was wondering if what do you call it? I used the spray. I was wondering if my spray would kill it. I'm gonna find out. I blew $4 or $10 in the worst kind of way. I just don't want to kill an animal on purpose. But
Right,
that hydro tank, there should be enough water in there. It should dilute it by the time it gets to him.
and you can't keep like chlorine. It can't be chlorinated or anything.
They say I put a cup of bleach in it per
Yeah,
800 gallons, and I just
yeah.
noticed on this last filling that I got to go check my well out. I might have to add a new filter because my water is cloudy. It was clear
Some.
the night before. The next day it's cloudy, and now I can't see the stickers in the bottom.
What about
It's,
salt? Some places use salt for curing and to salt. Some of the when people do their wells, they use salt purifiers, and then some use the chlorine purifiers. So there's different ways to do it. But some of
yeah,
those salt systems might work too. I don't know. It might rust your equipment out though.
I thought about staying away from salt, maybe getting a fish aquarium filter and leaving that fish aquarium filter running when I'm not using it.
Gotta
That way, it's always running, and it don't have the heater don't have to be on, so the water's always running, so it might catch some of that leftover junk, like the top part to a 30-gallon tank or 60-gallon aquarium motor. Put it on the backside when I'm not using it, and let it filter it overnight, and let not help click. But I think I'm going to get the water tested tomorrow because it's awful, awful looking. Not awful looking, but it's not right. I had some of the
right.
best water in the world, and all of a sudden, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's starting to get more white particles in it. So I'm gonna have it tested, and that's a 6-inch well that goes down in supposedly the Hilburn Springs aquifer,
Right.
and then there's a drop pipe in it. Papa used to farm off of. I know little old ladies used to come fill their truck gallon jugs up with it. They said to wash their hair with it because it was just made it soft and
Right.
whatever it was back in the day.
You ever thought about using totes to catch some gutter water and just use some rainwater for your tanks? Because I know it's a lot of. Well, I mean, if you got a well though, with some of the freshest water,
Yeah.
that's you got it
I,
best
I,
source.
I just noticed something's happened to my quality of water since I first
Right.
filled the tank. So I'm gonna go get it tested because I've never seen this type water before here. It,
Right.
it, it just got I don't know what happened. If it's I'll let you know in a couple of days what's going on. We
Is it
have
just getting
a
stagnant?
No, I mean I just drained the pump the other night
Hmm.
because oops, that's my phone. I drained the tank because my impeller got stopped up. Then when I filled the water back up, went to turn it on, I didn't have no power. So I
Yeah.
thought maybe I burnt my element up by accidentally flipping the switch on when it was drained for some
Right.
ungodly reason. I thought I
Right.
might have burnt my element, so I even went and changed the element, Santa. Then filled
Huh.
it up, and then it's cloudy, so that's what's making me. Oh, and during one of sorry, I was proofing some shine down, and I run out of distilled water, and I put about 3/4 of I'm sorry, I put some of my water in some shine and it instantly clouded it up. And I went,
Right.
oh no, what the hell? And then I looked at my tank and I went, that looks like my tank water. So I know right now I got to go get my stop. I got to get my water checked. But today I had to go meet the farmers and go do this and go do that. And tomorrow I'm going to work on my hydro tank heater and find out what's going on with the water. And If I have to, I'm thinking about just hooking that. Wouldn't this work? Since that's a heating element, 220 heating element. I'm sorry, a 110 heating element because it's only got two wires coming out of it.
Right.
If I hook that to a heating element thermostat that goes like on a sorry, it goes to a hot water heater, and then hook that wires to a plug and plug it in, I'll be able to control it at that thermostat just like I would a hot water heater.
Right.
I could just use that as my temperature box and skip that computer box.
That's
You
good
know
to
what I
know,
mean?
Clint. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Caught a
Just
walleye. Told to throw it back. They're bony, but yeah, they don't have a lot of flavor. That's why I like them. They don't taste real fishy fish, but they're good. They're fried, man. They're so damn good. I love them. Them and
do
crappie
y'all
mussels.
actually go ice fishing like I've been seeing on TV? Where they
Yeah,
got the hooks?
they're saying right now it's good. I guess Mark's saying it's about that time. Yeah, this drinks a shot. But
Yeah. Sorry, I rambled. I done got caught in my.
well, I do too. I had to kill some of them germs in me.
I don't have Mr. James Aubrey's recipe wrote down, but I made a big old container of it. And what he's got, it's got iodine, distilled water, and something else in it. And I've been rubbing it in my nose and putting that dehumidifier
Yeah.
and that what do you call that thing that your wife's probably got them, the Terra infuser. You put some of that in there and let it run through the house, and it's kept me.
Oh,
It
I know.
works. Whatever,
Hmm.
Mr. James, I can't remember what it is. I made a big old jug of it, so I
Well, I
tripping.
don't see him, but what's going on, Sturge?
Hey, big stirs.
Oh man.
I figured I'd put a lot of irons in the fire. That way, if one or two go out, the rest of them keep burning. That keeps me
Yeah.
going.
Always got something to do.
Going to Mexico in January, February, March, April. Then
You going
April,
down there to see Patrick?
yes, sir. Then we're
Cool.
going back for the grand opening, and that's going to be. We don't know yet when, but yeah, we're going. Me and my buddy Clinton's going to go over there, and we got some other stuff we're going to do on the way back. Then I think by that time, Frey will be going to Kentucky, where Mr. James is at, and might be swinging by there on the way home. If not, I think there's an event going on in April that we'll see you guys up there in Kentucky at
Yeah,
that
there
we're going
might
to be
be.
at.
I think that's probably when the
I got.
maybe I'm not sure if it's Beattyville or not. I'm not sure when they're having it. Donnie and Teresa's celebration.
I need to get that date
Thinking
in
it was a
my
little bit
calendar.
later in the year because I remember last year it was like 90 some degrees and it's like 104 the heat index and I was just fucking
Miserable.
melting, man. I was so drunk. I was speaking in tongues. I don't know if I was just that drunk or I was having a little mini heat stroke from the damn temperature. But God, I was speaking in tongues, man. I was pretty fucked up.
we made
That's a
some we made some swamp coolers this year, and those damn things work.
oh little misters. Yeah.
No, sir. You take a cooler and take a DC powered fan and take the front grill off and cut a hole in a cooler and put it mounted on
Oh,
top and
make a
put
little air
ice
conditioner.
and little and you take a 90 off of a I took mine off of a
Yeah.
gutter and swiveled it. Man, that cool. You it was amazing.
Man, it'd be hard. I don't know. I guess you keep the ice in
It
it
re-
work,
it
but
did. I mean,
yeah,
like
it was hot as fuck. It's downtown and it's
oh, outside.
concrete and blacktop and buildings and
No,
it was so hot.
you know
But
what
it's
would
a
have
lot of
helped
fun. It's a lot of fun though.
if y'all
I
have
like
put a
going out.
white if y'all have put a white tarp down. That white would have helped block
Yep.
that heat from. Yeah, we found out that one day somebody laid some rugs down. It was much cooler at their tent than it was ours, and they went with three down because they had
Yep.
something on the ground. So, but I'm learning. I'm learning. I went to a lot of events like with the big buck expos. I used to hit all the big buck
Yeah, I
expos.
think
I hit
with the water heaters like that, they cycle, on and off, and that may be the spurting.
hot water heater wiring work. May have to try that. I'll definitely have to run my pump continuously because my reservoir is only like it holds maybe 30 gallons is where the thermostat and the heat element is, and
Yeah.
then it pumps it from that area into the main tank through a PVC pipe and makes it go all the way down to the other end, and then comes out more or less just drill holes in PVC pipe, and it pushes the water across the top, and that's
Right.
just to remove the excess film I didn't use and push it down to the
Right.
filtration
And get it
system.
out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically all it is.
Cool.
But I can cold water dip, but you're taking a risk on ruining the film. It takes so long to hydrate the film, and then when you go to
Right.
spray it, you got to get it timing. It's just
How many
iffy.
gallons is your tank?
862.
Yeah. So it's not you're not gonna use your average everyday fish tank water heater in that.
Everybody says this, do this, and this, do that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
uh, I did have this idea. I got a buck
I
stove, an
I
iron.
guess I guess Freight's moving to Aubrey's place. That's what
Yes,
I've
there is.
heard.
Yes, there is. They're actually working on his house now, getting it ready, and Freight's moving up there and going to go to work, doing what they do up there, and fixing and repairing and construction. And whenever Mr. Aubrey and them get their ducks in a row, they'll do what they do, and uh, it's going to be quite interesting to see Mr. Aubrey with how he makes his liquor. I would love to see that go so much forward in his the way he wants it to go.
I'll have to look that up, brother. I've never heard of Old School Santa, and I'll have to check him out. I
Old
guess
school.
around here, I'm pretty much the old school Santa, and I've been at it. I don't know. I ain't had this beard like this for as long as I've been at it, but I guess around here, I'm the old schooler named Santa. But I'll
Speaking
have
of,
to check out his channel.
I was just curious the other day. I said I have never been able to grow a beard in my life, and I just trimmed some down, and my mom and them was wanting me to go back to a goatee. I'm like, Mom,
Nah, I like having my beard, man.
I like the beard, and she's like, but son, I'm like, but Mom. And my buddies are like, it looks good on you, keep it. I'm like,
Yeah,
shit. Now it's a part of you, and
yeah, yeah.
but what was that I was thinking?
Well, it's about 11 o'clock. I'm gonna have to get off here and go
Sounds
lay
good.
down. Normally, I'd be up to talk and chat till 2, 3 the next morning. Hell, I've been known to do 10, 12 hour streams, but
Not tonight.
not this week or last week. Next week, maybe not either until I start feeling better.
You get your rest. Thank you for letting
But
me
I
come on
wasn't
and
I
just spend
wasn't
some
going
time
to
with
just
you.
say no this week. I know we didn't run. We had a day we missed last week. Roger was out of town at the doctor's, or no, his internet went out, and I felt horrible. And I hate getting on here by myself because if I do, this is what you see, and you don't want to see a big picture of me. So, yeah, I like getting on here with other people. I want it.
Thank you.
I don't want it being just me or all about me. I like helping, answering questions, and helping people out, keeping things safe. That's my thing. I don't want people, to end up like Marfugel Phil, and burning down their damn house, or
Yes.
burning their bar and garages down and stuff. So any way I can help make it shine better and make it safer for them, I'm all about that.
Y'all have sure helped
I
me over the
appreciate it.
last 7 months.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Kentucky Grizz. Are you from Kentucky, or is that KY Grizzly Green? Yeah. Get up with me, man. Join the militia. Jump on Facebook and join the Moonshine Militia, and jump in there with us. If you got any questions, we we always there to answer, and maybe you can help answer some questions at the same time. Oh hell, Rockcastle County. I know right where you are, brother. Hell yeah. I grew up in Pike County, so
Which
awesome.
which is the roughest county in Kentucky?
I'd say Pike or Knott or Letcher. I mean, those are pretty. They're probably the roughest. I don't know. Some people would say, Jefferson, around Louisville is pretty rough. If rough is, you
It
talk
depends on
ghetto
your
rough, or you
definition.
talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah. You're
you
right.
know, wood neck rough.
Okay,
It's rough in different ways.
for someone like me driving from Florida up there, am I gonna get pulled for having moonshine stickers on my back window in certain counties?
Uh, no, but I wouldn't have any home. It's yeah,
I got all y'all stickers on my windows. What I'm saying, and they love it down
yeah.
here.
I don't think they're going to give you a hard time.
Okay,
They'll
okay.
hopefully
Just
they
making a
wouldn't be able
joke.
to read them, but yeah, I wouldn't be packing around shine with them stickers on there.
No, I try not to have any
That's
on me,
like
but
that's like having big pot leaf,
yeah,
stickers and weed stickers all over your car, and
and the
policeman
smoke
pulls you over.
blowing
You
out.
been smoking anything? No. What makes you think that? I don't know.
Actually,
Maybe the stickers all over the back of your car. Oh,
yeah.
they forget about that shit. When you drive
Actually,
it every day.
I'm having one of those back window advertisements made where you can see out but you can't see in.
Yeah,
I'm having one of those made for Hydro Man on my
that'd be
truck,
cool.
and
That'd be cool.
that's I think I'm gonna leave it at that. And but I'm trying to support you guys, and I wanted to put it around the border, all the way around the border, and but at the same time, if I draw attention to myself like that, it's like you say, it's like you said with the pot deal. So I'm trying to figure out how I can do both.
Yeah,
Oh, you know what? I'm hydro dipping mason jars for you guys. So
awesome.
yeah, I've got I'm trying to uh, do things that way. I'll have a question. I've been asked since I'm in a certain location and I have a certain access to a large building, like 200 football fields long by 50 yards wide, concrete, semi ramps and all. I can rent that building for a 3-year lease, and I was thinking about using it to palletize barrels for storage. And people were asking me, these legal people want, I'm going to do it for them, but I was thinking, could I put a space in it for you guys? Would anybody, if anybody interested in having a place to store from a one to whatever you want barrel place in a secured place, you can even put
Yeah,
your own camera system up to watch it 24/7. I'm just trying to plant a seed since I have an opportunity for a business investment to buy this piece of property and or lease it and then store this liquor wine for
yeah.
wine barrels for a winery for so many years. I was wondering, would that be how? What would the legal?
Probably be a little bit warm for like a wine storage, but for liquor, absolutely. And you may find
That's
some,
that's
liquor, talk to some of the
well,
big guys down there and see if they, want to lease it or, would like to store there, and pay you to store their stuff. It very
well,
well may.
yeah, the St. Augustine winery's already. Well, I maybe shouldn't say that out loud, but I've been talking to them. I've already got them designated to for one barn,
Right.
and then the idea hit me since I've got this building, I can lease it. When you mentioned whiskey, I don't. I'm trying to think of the. I'm gonna guess half the hour lawyer in a business. I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to get information before
Right.
I. Who would you go to get information on that on the legal aspect? I wouldn't have to have a liquor license because I'm just a barn. I'm
Yeah.
just a warehouse.
Right. I would
What
start with the local municipality and talk with them and maybe
I've already been down to the courthouse and they told me
right, and
to
health
everything's.
departments and all that, make sure there's
I got the
nothing there
permits.
and insurance and fire and that, a lot of places don't want it within a certain distance of schools and things like that. They'll have regulations, excuse me, as far as all that goes, but you know, and
Okay,
fire.
I'll I'll ponder on this some more. I'm not asking to write. I'll uh I'll get back with you.
Yep, let me know. And
Yes, sir.
KY, let me know who you are. And do you have the same name in the militia that you do on YouTube? Yeah, Bondi. All right, guys. Well,
Good night, y'all. Good
thanks
night.
everybody for tuning in. Well, damn it, you ain't supposed to jump out that fast. I didn't even get to say bye. You're gonna make me see my big mug here. There, that's better. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and hopefully we'll be able to have a little more info for you this Saturday. Maybe have a few guests on. We're going to try to get some other master distillers on and get a few different perspectives from different places and see what they got going on. So everybody, take care. We'll see you Saturday. or Friday for the shit show, and then Saturday for ours. So y'all have a good rest of your week. Lisa, take care. Randy, holler at y'all later. Shine on.